Chapter 1, Prologue. Hard to believe that this kind of MMORPG was kind of popular. It only offered 3 classes to the player, which were the most common ones: the warrior, archer, and mages. There's no assassin or anything like that. There's also no class upgrade when you hit a certain level. This certainly is bad for the game, but surprisingly enough, it still had a huge fan base of players despite all of that. That game was called Code Saga, a typical MMORPG that offers players a lot of things besides character classes. Hey Ren, have you tried out the new game? It's super fun. What's the game called? Code Saga. It's free on Steam. A lot of players are playing it now. I think you would like it, as it's the kind of game you like to play. Are you playing that game, Shin? Heck yeah. That's why I'm telling you about it. I will check it out when I get home. Nice. Remember, the game name is Code Saga. Shin reminded Ren again. Ren could see that his friend Shin wanted him to play that game. Well, it's kinda obvious, as Ren was the only friend that Shin ever had. Both of them were introverted loners that love games and anime. As Ren was back from school, he remembers what Shin told him earlier about a game that he wanted Ren to test out. That was a game called Code Saga. Ren was reluctant, as before he even installed that game on his PC, he checked the review of the game on YouTube. Found out that the game has a horrible classes system for their character, as Ren would prefer to play as someone who could use sword and magic simultaneously. Yet the game didn't offer that at all, which kinda made Ren disappointed a lot. But because of his friend, Ren had no other choice but to play it and test it out first, as the reviewer couldn't be trusted that much nowadays. It takes Ren a couple of hours to download the game, as it was quite big, 65 gigabytes. After waiting that long, the download was finally completed, and Ren could finally play the game Shin recommended to him. Upon launching the game, "Welcome to Code Saga," a female voice. After that, Ren was greeted by the character creation menu, which was his favorite. Usually, it takes him a lot of time to create his perfect character. Like always, Ren's character creation, he almost opted to build a rather good-looking man with an excellent physique. Someone very confident in themselves, as that was the ideal person that Ren always wanted to be in real life, but didn't dare to do so. Ren finally completed the character creation, as he went with a character that has blonde hair, gray eyes. Someone who Ren wouldn't become in real life at all. "I had a dream. It was you, the hero that would save the world." The destined hero. Ren never heard these phrases at all, as he watches the gameplay of Code Saga several times while waiting for the game to finish downloading. It's weird, but Ren just thought that as an update, something that had been added to improve the game intro. Just as suspected, the game resumes as normal. It's the time to choose the classes for the character, which the game was notorious for at the moment, as the game only provided the 3 basic classes: warrior, archer, mage. Ren was about to choose a warrior, but he knew that Shin probably had picked it already. Knowing that, Ren then decided to choose other classes, a class that would enable him to support Shin in the game. With that, Ren chooses the mage class. He was rather surprised when he clicked on the mage class, as it seems like there's a type of mages people could pick, but like the character classes, it wasn't that many of an option at all. It only provides 3 types of mages: priest, light magic; wizard, elemental magic; warlock, dark magic, because Ren had already set up his mind to play as a supporting character. There's only one type of mage that he needed to play, so it wasn't that hard for Ren to choose this matter at all. As with a priest-type skill set, Ren would be able to heal and buff up Shin when they fight a boss or some strong monsters in the game. He then locks on with the priest type. The female voice then explains the lore of the world and how it was on the brink of destruction. That's why she had to summon a hero from another world to save it. Our world, Saga, was in trouble as the light nearly faded as the dark began to conquer all of it. We need one brave hero from the other world. That's you dash. Input name. Ren gives it a thought, as it's the most important thing besides the character creation. Picking a lame name would be very bad, because usually renaming characters would cost real money, and it's wasteful to use the money for that purpose only. It took a couple of minutes for Ren, but finally, he decided on a name. Which was his name? Ren Shizumu. The female narrator resumes. "Ren Shizumu, you're the hero that the world of Saga needed right now. With the remaining of my power, I summon thee onto the world of Saga. You're the only one that could save the world. Are you sure about your choice?" "Yes." And oh, with everything completed, Ren can't wait to start the game and experience what it's had to offer. Would it be worse than the other MMORPG game that he had played before, or better? He then moves his mouse cursor onto the yes and clicks on it. An unknown voice then suddenly shouted at Ren. Hey Dash, hey, wake up. You're going to be late. You do know that the High Priest doesn't like people that are late. Ren quickly opened his eyes and realized that something was different. He wasn't in his room anymore, and what was worse was there someone that he didn't know standing in front of him at the moment. He was confused about what had happened. Chapter 2. A Priest. I saw you open your eyes, Ren. Quit laying around the bed and get up already. The unknown person said that. Who are you? Ren said that confusingly. Are you being serious right now? I don't want to hear your joke, as we are already late. Ren gets up from the bed and holds that person. Who are you, and where are we? Fine. I will answer these ridiculous questions of yours, but make sure to get ready after I tell you what you want to hear, as today is our important day. That person then said his name was Aaron, the only friend that Ren ever had in this place. As Ren was quite shy and didn't like to interact with other people in this place. This place was called the Dormitory Hall, which was where the acolyte lived before becoming a priest. Despite hearing all of that, Ren still had no idea what's going on. All that he remembers was he was playing the game Code Saga and about to enter it. Wait a minute. Is this a nice guy? Do I got transmigrate into this world? But that impossible. Ren shrugs off the thoughts as he can't believe them. He believes that he probably had dozed off for a moment as he didn't sleep very well these past couple of days. This must be a dream, it must. Aaron then slapped his back and said, Hurry up, will you? Today is the day we finally become a priest. As confused as Ren is right now, he had no other choice but to act normally for now. Aaron throws the priest's clothes towards Ren, telling him to wear that. Because they didn't have enough time already, Aaron advised Ren to take a bath later. The moment Ren sees the priest's clothing, he remembers the choice he made at the start of Code Saga. That was a priest. He feels like there's something weird about this dream as it was aligned with the decision he made at the start of the game. He feels like he was onto something, but because of the pressure from Aaron telling him to put the clothes off. Ren then quickly picks up the priest's clothing and puts it on immediately. Okay, I'm Dash. Aaron took Ren's hands and began to drag Ren with him. Looking at that action, Ren realized that the thing might be really important for both of them. The place where Aaron brought Ren was a temple. There's a lot of people in priest's clothing there. It's almost like there's an event going on. It was gorgeous. Ren had never seen a place like this in real life before. Ren felt like he was really in a fantasy world at the moment. Ding! The sound of a large bell could be heard as Ren was startled by it, as it was too sudden for him. I think we made it just in time. Let's head inside, Aaron said. The inside of the temple was quite large. There's also a lot of people inside as well. Seeing all of those people somehow made Ren feel a bit nervous, as he rarely went into a place with a very large crowd like this. Ren feels like he could faint at this moment, but he knows by doing that would just make him gain more attention. So he had no other choice but to suck it up for now and keep his cool. Both of them then line up like the other people inside the temple, and a few minutes later, there's someone old heading towards the stage. Good morning, fellow acolytes. Today, Dash. The speech was quite long, and Ren's leg felt like it couldn't stand any longer. It almost feels like torture, but seeing others people were still on their feet. Ren had to hold on for a bit more as it seemed like the speech would be ending soon. Is this a graduation ceremony? Ren says within himself. After listening to it for almost half an hour. I'm proud of you all. Starting from today, you all would be called as a priest of Enos. May the Enos guide your way. The speech does give Ren a bit of information about what's going on right now. He knows that this wasn't a dream anymore, and he's somewhat transmigrated into this world. As the High Priest did mention the world name, that was Saga. But Ren wouldn't be able to figure out why he was chosen. He had no fighting experience, and what worse was he's an introvert. He wonders what will Shin think of his sudden disappearance from the world he was living in before. Would they miss Ren? As Ren was busy thinking, Aaron approached him. He then tapped Ren at the back. Glad that we're able to make it in time. Now that we're already becoming a priest, it's time for us to spread the teaching of God Enos. Ren could only smile as he basically did not know anything about the world of Saga. He kind of regretted not learning about the lore of the world before playing the game, as he was able to learn something from it. Hey, Ren, are you even listening? Yeah, you should head back to the dorm and take a bath. You're starting to smell. Aaron said that. You're right. I will be heading back now. Ren sniffed himself and realized that it did smell. With that, Ren quickly heads back to the dormitory to take a bath. As he nearly reached the place, Ren bumped into someone as Ren wasn't looking in front at all. "Watch out, will dash. I'm sorry." Ren quickly utters the word. "It's you, the quiet kid. How dare you bump into me? Are you trying to knock me down to the ground?" The man said that angrily. Ren looked towards the person and saw that there's a rather huge man in front of him. That somehow makes Ren a little bit intimidated by that person. Chapter 3. Transmigrated. "No, I didn't mean to do dash. Lying, aren't you? No worries. I will make sure you get assigned to a horrible place." The man said that. Ren had no idea what that meant, but he knew that it surely wouldn't be a good thing. So with that, Ren kept on apologizing, hoping that the man would forgive his action earlier. Yet the man ignores him completely and walks away from that place angrily. Knowing that he couldn't stop the person, Ren just let him be. Ren believes that person would surely forgive him after he had calmed down a bit. Ren keeps a positive thought on the situation and continues to head back to his dorm. As he really wanted to take a shower, he finally enters his own room. He quickly takes the towel he saw earlier and heads down to take a shower. But Ren realizes something, that he doesn't know the way to the place at all. He knows that the only option he had was to talk with the other residents here, but he was scared. As Ren was an introvert, it's quite hard for him to be able to have a conversation with other people that he didn't know at all. Of course, the reason why he could talk with Eren was that he's the one that initiates the conversation, not Ren at all. Going back and forth in the room, Ren was thinking whether he wanted to ask or not. In the end, because of his shyness, Ren wasn't able to do anything and just sat in the room, hoping that Eren would come back and then help him find the place. As Eren was the only person that Ren felt comfortable in this world despite him being a total stranger to Ren. After about 3 hours waited in the room, Eren finally returned. "Hey Ren, have you dash?" Eren paused as he sniffed. "Ren, don't tell me you haven't taken a shower yet." Ren feels so embarrassed about it as he could only nod in silence. "Why? Is there someone using it? But at this time, I don't think that there's a person that dash. No. It's just I don't know where the place is. That's why I have not yet taken a shower." "What? Are you being serious? How can you don't know?" "Well, I just forgot." "Really? What's happening to you, Ren? You're acting weird today. First, you act like you don't know me, and now this? What's wrong?" Eren looks pretty worried about Ren. The moment Eren asked that question, Ren couldn't think of anything, as he doesn't have the answer for that. He knows that Eren wouldn't believe him if he spills everything out. Ren was afraid that it might just worsen the situation. He doesn't want Eren to think he's crazy or something like that. "Nothing at all. It's just that I have a lot in my mind, and with that, I always forget about simple stuff." "I see. Is that because of where we would be assigned?" Eren then tapped on my shoulder. "You wouldn't worry that much. There's no way we would be on the front lines. I am sure we would just be assigned to one of the towns." "Front lines? What does he mean by that?" Ren asks that question within himself. "Oh, if you really forgot, let me show you the way," Eren said. Eren was really a nice guy. Ren felt a bit weird as if he was already familiar with him. It might be because this person that Ren had become had a genuine bond of friendship with Eren. That's why Ren felt at ease with him. Eren shows Ren the way to the showers room when they arrive there. Eren asks Ren whether he wanted to wait outside, but Ren said it would be fine. "Are you really sure?" "Yes. Besides, you must have a lot of other things that you wanted to do. So I don't want to take up your time. If that is the case, I would be leaving then. Don't forget where our room is, okay?" "No worries. I wouldn't." Ren then enters the shower room. He then notices that there's a mirror. He quickly approaches it to confirm something that's been occupying his thoughts for a while. That was about his appearance in this world. He was shocked as he began to touch his face. It was indeed like what Ren had thought. Even his appearance had changed to the ones that he had created earlier in the game. With that, the theory of being transmigrated into the game world was confirmed. Like all of this, Ren was still unsure about it, but after seeing this, he was sure of it, that he indeed had been transferred into the world of Saga as the character that he created, a good-looking priest. But really? Is this a dream? How did I end up here? As all of the other MC in the Ice Sky novel I read always had something weird happened or had fallen asleep. But in my case, none of that even happened. Ren began to think to himself. As this was a game world, Ren thought that he might have a system like most of the MC possessed after getting transmigrated. But no matter what he does, the system that he had hoped for doesn't appear in front of him. Ren gives up after a few more attempts as he believes that he might not have the system at all. Ah, forget it. Better to take a shower first. I am like a crazy guy speaking alone in this place. Ren takes a quick shower as he wanted to test a few other things. Because even if he doesn't acquire a system in this world, he still thinks that he had some other talent, as there's no way a person that has been transmigrated doesn't have any of that. At least that's what Ren believes right now. Chapter 4, Assigned. After finishing taking his shower, Ren quickly gets back to his room. But the moment he opens the door of his room, he saw that Eren was there waiting for him. Finish already. That's quick, Eren said. You here? I thought you had something to do. Ren said. Well, I do, but it doesn't take that long. Eren then flashes a piece of paper in front of my face. I just need to grab this thing. A paper. Not just a paper. What's written here is something that would determine where we would get assigned to. Until now, Ren still hasn't figured out yet what that means. He has been hearing this assigned thing a lot from Eren, and of course the man he bumps earlier. Assign? Mean by that? Do you forget? Let me just explain. The head priest handed out this paper, and inside it had written where we would be working as a priest starting tomorrow. I see, I understand now. So let's see where we will be working then. Ren said that. Are you sure you do not want to get your shirt up first? That's fine. This wouldn't take that long. Suit yourself then. I will be opening it. Eren said that as he began to unfold the paper and search for both of their names, also where they would get assigned to. I see my name. It seems like I would be working in a nearby village. Let's see about you, Ren. Eren's eyes started to look into the paper. All of a sudden, Eren's face turned pale as if he saw something bad. What's the matter, Eren? Ren said that as he got worried about the result of where he would be assigned to. Eren didn't say any word as he handed down the piece of paper to Ren. I don't know how to tell you. Just look at it yourself. Eren said. The way Eren said that made Ren think that he had been assigned to a bad place. That's why Eren couldn't tell him straight where it was. Ren glanced through the words in the paper and found his name in just a couple of seconds. He quickly checks where he was assigned and was surprised to know that it was indeed a bad place. Name, Ren Shizumu, Priest, Location, Exiana Army. Is this? Yes, you are assigned to the front lines. You would be assisting the knights to repel the dark forces. By dark forces? You meant demons, right? Eren simply nodded with that. Ren realized that Eren was worried about him, but he couldn't stand to see Eren like this. So Ren decided to remain strong despite his heart being scared about all of this. I see. I guess there's nothing I could do now. This where dash, before Ren could even finish, he was cut off by Eren. But how can this be? The High Priest knows that you aren't suited for that. You lack the mana to cast healing all day. There must be a mistake here. Let's visit the High Priest and talk about this. This was the first Ren heard of that because he had no idea what his strength was as he had no system to help him. But hearing that, Ren was aware that he was weak, that he doesn't have a huge mana capacity. What are you waiting for? Put on some clothes. We have to meet with the High Priest to discuss the place you are assigned to. Ren quickly takes his clothes and puts them on. As Ren was putting on his clothes, he remembers the encounter earlier with the man he bumps with. Ren remembers the words that man had uttered to him. He then realized something. Does that person be the one responsible for this? It might be as he says that I would get assigned to a horrible place. With that, Ren finally figures it out. Why he was assigned to the army. The reason was because of that man he bumps into earlier. Eren, does the High Priest have any relatives that are priests here? Well, no, but he does have an adopted son. Eren then looked at me weirdly. Why did you suddenly ask me this question? Nothing. I simply wanted to know that. Hearing that, Ren was sure that the man he bumps into was the High Priest's adopted son. That's why he was able to do that, as he was close with the High Priest. But still, Ren hopes that this talk with the High Priest could change the place where he was assigned to. High Priest room. No, I can't change it anymore. The High Priest said that. What? You do know that Ren mana isn't that big. There's no way he could heal an entire army. Shouted Eren. Calm down. Ren mana is indeed a problem, but I doubt that he would be dealing with that many people. Ren's job was to tend only the worst wound. Minor injuries would be treated with a healing potion. The High Priest said that calmly. But still, Dash, I understand that you're worried about your friend, but I assure you that Ren wouldn't be harmed. The knights there would protect him. Besides, Ren's job is healing, not fighting the demons up front. It wasn't that reassuring even after hearing the High Priest say that. But Ren knows that there's no changing the High Priest's decision anymore. He just needs to accept it. That's enough, Eren. The High Priest said that I would be fine. I wouldn't think that the High Priest would be lying about that. I said that towards Eren. Eren clenches his fist as he feels powerless to be able to change it. He knows now that the only thing he could pray for is his friend's safety. Fine. Thank you for listening to my concern. We will be heading out then. Eren said that. With that, the both of them head out from the High Priest room. Chapter 5, Frontlines. A few days had passed as Ren finally arrived at the place where he was assigned to. That was the Exiana army. He stepped down from the carriage and began to walk towards the night camp he saw. Ren remembers how Eren acted when he couldn't do anything about this matter. He cried the moment they returned to their room. Seeing that, Ren realizes how Eren cares about his well-being, and with that Ren decided to return in one piece after his duty was over. As the High Priest did tell them that Ren wouldn't be at the battlefield for that long. As soon as he found a good substitute, Ren would then be reassigned to a small town. Are you the priest that we're expecting to come? One of the knights approaches Ren and asks that question. Yes, that's me. Ren handed down the official papers to the knight for him to be able to access the camp, as the place was heavily guarded in order not to allow any shift-shaping demon to enter this area and slaughter all of the people here. That's why this procedure exists, to ensure everyone's safety. The knight looks through all of the paper. Okay, this is indeed the official seal. One last thing. Could you heal me? It's required to know you're a human. Ren let out a sigh of relief when he heard that the knight asked him to do just that, because that's the only thing he was able to cast right now, as he doesn't have any memories of doing any other spells at all. Even the heal was something Ren learned on this trip. He barely mastered it, but thanks to all of the guides in the notebook that Eren lent him, he was able to do it now. He was grateful to Eren. Eren did a great job on making the guide's book that contains all of the spells that they have learned in the temple before. Ren then began to chant the phrase and perform the heal spells onto the knight perfectly. With that, the knight then let him enter the camp. You may enter, but you should visit the captain first, as he would tell you what's your job here. The captain would be in the camp with a red flag on top of it. Thanks for everything, and I would be sure to do what you said, Ren said and left. Ren found the camp that the captain was currently in right now. He then introduced himself to the captain. Welcome to this camp, Priest Ren. I am the captain of this army. The name is Kaze, Captain Kaze. So what would I be doing then, Captain? I think the High Priest already told you what you do, right? But let me repeat that. You would be the head of our medic unit. I would tell you that you probably will get less sleep here, as there's a lot of casualties. I understand that. I would do my best to heal the knights that were hurt in the battle. Well then, if all is done, I would ask one of my knights to show you the way around here, and of course where your camp is. With that, Ren left the captain's camp and headed outside. There he saw a female knight standing right in front of him. Her beauty somehow captivates Ren's heart the first time he sees her. With her long brown hair and golden eyes, also a mature woman's face. He saw someone this beautiful in his life before. The female knight then approaches Ren with a smile on her face. Are you Ren? The female knight says that. Ren snapped out of his thoughts the moment she heard the female knight say his name. Yes. Yes. I am Ren. He stuttered for a bit as he was still stunned by the female knight's beauty. Ren was confused about why this person knew his name, as he had never met her before. I am Rikukatu, your guide. A pleasure to meet you. How come you know my name? You weren't in the camp when I talked with the Captain Kaze, so Captain Kaze already arranged this earlier before you even arrived, as your name was listed on the list of the people who will be coming here. That's why I was able to learn about your name. So how should I address you? Just call me Riku. It's easier as I would be working under you from now on as well. What? Ren said that as he was very surprised by it. Why did you act so shocked about it? Didn't the captain tell you that you're going to be the head of the medic division? Well, he did, but I didn't expect that other people were working in the same division as me. Quite a few knights are working in this division. I will gather the people that work in the division tonight to introduce you as the new leader of the division. Knowing that he would be working with a group of knights somehow made Ren nervous, as it would be hard for him to interact with someone he doesn't know at all. Even right now, Ren was having a hard time making conversation with Riku, the female knight. He really thinks through every word before he utters it, as he doesn't want to look stupid. So do you guys help in healing as well? Ren said. Not exactly, as we knights couldn't heal as we don't have an aptitude for magic. But we do help by giving the wounded by applying the potions onto them. Hearing that makes Ren think that this feels like the game itself. As the reviewer he saw online mentioned that the knight class wouldn't be able to use any magic spells, as it's all about raw physical abilities, meaning that raising the character's strength was the only way to grow stronger in the game. Ren didn't think that it would be almost similar in this world as well. Chapter 6. The Army Encampment. With Riku as Ren's guide, both of them explore the encampment to make Ren familiar with this place, as Ren needs to remember it. There's a lot of restricted areas which Ren doesn't have permission to enter, even though he's the head of the medic division. Of course, there's an exception for a certain scenario, but it only applies when there are people wounded in that area, which granted Ren permission to enter regardless of the danger in that area. Do you get the hang of this place already, or do you want us to take another tour? Rika said, I think there's no need for that. Let's just visit where the wounded knights are. They probably need healing. Okay, follow me. I'll show the way to the camp where we would be tending the injured knights, Rika said. The moment Ren arrived at the place, he was surprised at how large the camp for the wounded was. Seeing that, he realizes that there must be a lot of knights inside that need to get healed, and every time that there's a battle, a lot would get injured. Ren then walked into the camp. There's a lot of knights lying under a piece of cloth on the ground. All of them seem to be in pain. What kind of demons did they fight on the battlefield to get those wounds? It must be terrifying fighting those kinds of monsters. Ren thought that in his mind, looking at all of the wounds. Should I start healing? Ren asks Riku that as he feels like he needs to help the wounded immediately. Up to you, as you're in charge here. Unless Captain Kaze told you otherwise, Riku said. Let's tend the knight's wound first before continuing our conversation. Is that okay with you, Riku? No problem. Riku simply nodded. With that, Ren started to do his job. That was tending the knight's wound. It was exhausting for him, as in just a couple of minutes, he had used almost half of it mana already. Ren wouldn't stop to rest, yet as he saw that there's a lot of knights that need to get healed. But thanks to Riku helping him tending the wounded knights as well as using healing potions, it makes Ren's job a bit easier as he managed to heal everyone before his mana was completely depleted. The knights in the camp weren't that many, just around 100 of them. Ren knows that if there were more than that, he wouldn't be sure that his mana would be able to keep up with the healing he needed to perform. At this time, Ren just healed like 40 of the knights. All of them were badly injured. The others were handled by Riku with her healing potions. As the task has been completed for today, Ren approaches Riku to continue having their conversation, because there's a lot of things that Ren doesn't know yet about this world. Yes, Riku said as she looked towards Ren's eyes, and somehow it made him quite nervous. He never talks to a girl as beautiful as Riku before. It somehow makes his heart flutter quite a bit. There's something I wanted to ask. Ren said that softly. Sure, you could ask me if there's something you didn't know. As he was too nervous, he completely forgot about the thing he wanted to ask Riku about. Ren quickly tries to think something quick. Where do the healing potions come from? Ren said that that was the only thing he could remember in this situation, as his eyes are always locked over Riku when she's helping him apply the healing potions on the wounded knights. Oh, about that. We had an agreement with the Mages Council. They provided the healing potions as they're trying to develop a spell that could wipe out the remnant of darkness once at all. Somehow asking about that question led to much curiosity inside Ren's mind. I see, but why wouldn't they send at least one mage here, as I doubt that all of them will be involved in that project of theirs. That is because all of the mages knew the spell that they're developing. The Mages Council afraid that the information regarding the spell would be a leak, as the demons possess some mind spell. So that's why there are no mages on the battlefield. So do you know what kind of spell they're making? No, I had no idea about that. So we the knights had no idea what kind of spell they're developing and the current progress of it. Yes, but from what I heard, it was nearly finished. Don't know whether it was true or not. Well, let's just hope that it was true then. Ren paused for a bit. I also wanted to ask, were these the only injured knights? I thought it would be more. There's a lot more than this usually, but these past days, the demons' activity wasn't that much, so there's less battle. So that's why there's not a lot of injured knights in the camp. Rika said. I see. Well, that's dash. Before Ren could even finish what he was about to say, another man interrupted him. Riku, there you are. I have been looking for you. Where the heck have you been? Zane, I was guiding the new leader of our division around this place, and also helping him heal the injured knights. Our new leader? Riku then introduces me to the black-haired man who asks that question. The person beside me is our new leader. His name is Run. The man then quickly greeted Run with such honor. I'm Zane, a knight-to-be. I am in charge of carrying supplies for the medic division. A pleasure to meet you, Captain Ren. Captain, no need for that honorific. I am just a priest. I know I am a leader, but you could just call me Run. Chapter 7. Members of Medic Division. No, I will still call you that, as you're my superior and the head of the Medic Division, so you deserve to be called Captain. The man said that. Ren doesn't like to get called Captain. It's as if he was an important person here. He does realize that he is important here, as he was the only person with the magic to heal. Yet he doesn't want to get the attention. That's why he rejected being called Captain. If I am your superior, please respect my decision. Just call me Ren. Still before the person could say any more, he received a knock on his head by Riku. Listen to your captain, please. That is what he wanted to be called. So okay. I will listen. Please don't hit me in the head anymore. I feel like it's going to have a bump on my head if you keep doing it, Riku. Touching his head. Seeing that, Ren let out a small laugh and said, You two must be close, haha. Well, we're just working on the same division. Teamwork and unity are important to get the task done quickly, Riku said. I see. How many people does this division have? Only 5, including you, Ren. The medic division isn't that large compared to the others, but our work is important. Ren couldn't believe that there were only 5 people in his division, as he thought there would be more people. Because the number of knights that were wounded was many, Ren thought that there would also be a lot of people working to provide health care for the wounded. So where's the other 2 then? Ren asked. Both of them might be helping other divisions. Do you want me to call them here? Riku said. That's okay. I don't want to interfere with their work now. Let's just gather all of the medic division here at nighttime. Is that okay? Sure, no problem, Ren. With that, the 3 of them discussed a lot of things as they had some time to spare, helping Ren get more familiar with the encampment. Nighttime. I already tell them. They should be here in just a few minutes, Riku said. Let's wait for them to arrive then. While waiting for the other 2 members of the medic division to arrive, Ren thought about the evening he spent with Riku and Zane. Both of them were friendly to him, making Ren feel less nervous around them. He had learned a lot, especially about the demons. Why are they attacking humans and wanting to destroy the world? It's all quite different from the game lore. There's still some lore remaining, but almost all of it is changed, making Ren believe that this was a world that isn't similar to the game at all. A real fantasy world to which he has been transmigrated. Yet Ren still wouldn't be able to solve why he was chosen, as he feels not worthy. He doesn't have the leadership skill, any fighting knowledge, or bravery. He was aware that he's weak, an introvert that does nothing but watches anime and plays games all of the time. That's why he questions the decision made by the gods of the world about choosing him. They're here. Zane said that loudly. From a distance, Ren could see a silhouette of 2 people. One of them had female figures, and one of them had a male figure. When they are finally in the line of sight of Ren, he notices that both of them were pretty good looking. Are you the new captain of this division? The female knight said that. Yes, I am the head of the medic division. No need to call me captain, just Ren. That's all. If that is what you wish, then we would call you that. The female knight paused for a bit as she introduced herself. I'm Maya, a knight in charge of security of the medic division. The one standing beside me is Dash. The name is Iser. I am also in charge of security. The same with my sister here. Wait, what? You are both siblings. Ren said that in surprise. Yes, we both are siblings. Maya is the older sister, while I am her little brother. Iser said that with a smile. As they talk a bit more about themselves and their division task, Iser suddenly remembers something as he quickly shares it with the people of the medic division. I almost forgot, earlier. Captain Kaze wanted to ask our division a favor tomorrow, as we're free at the moment. What kind of favor? Ren asks. He wanted us to head to the battlefield, to deliver some medical supplies and heal the knights that were stationed there. Hearing that somehow makes Ren scared, as he heard that the captain asks their division to go to a rather dangerous place. Are you sure Captain Kaze wants us? Shouldn't this be the transportation division job? Besides, Captain Kaze knows that Ren is forbidden to the battlefield, as his job was to heal people. Riku said, I did say the same thing earlier, but Captain Kaze allows it, as there are no people to be healed here anymore. He also says that Demon's activity is kinda low this time around, so it would be safe for us to travel there safely. I see, that's understandable. Riku then looks at Ren. So Ren, would you authorize it? You could still decline this as this was not an official task for us, as other divisions would be doing this. As scared as Ren was right now, he can't let his cowardice show to the people of his division, as he is the captain now. He needs to act tough. I am fine with it. Do you guys want to do it? Ren said that calmly. All nodded, and with that Ren had no other choice but to accept that. Iser then told Ren that Captain Kaze is expecting them in his camp earlier tomorrow morning if they wanted to do this task. You heard him. Let's head in early. We had a lot to do tomorrow, Ren said as all of them headed to their tent to sleep. Chapter 8. Delivering Supplies. Next morning, I'm surprised that you accepted it, but are you sure you wanted this priest, Ren? Captain Kaze said that towards Ren. I'm fine with it, sir. Besides, the knights there need healing, and it's my job to do that, Ren said. Truthfully, Ren was scared to go out to the battlefront, as he was scared that he would encounter demons and would get himself killed in the process. Yet for the division's sake, Ren has to muster up the courage he had to not make himself a coward. Of course, there's another reason as well, like wanting to make a good impression towards his subordinate. Okay then, if that is the case, please be careful as it would be difficult for me if you get yourself in trouble. So please don't stray too far when you get there. Captain Kaze said that. I understand that, sir. I would try my best to be safe on this mission and also ensure the safety of others as well. You would be using the carriage as transportation to the front lines. Captain Kaze then looked at Zane as he said, Zane, you would lead the way to the carriage as you're the only person who knows where the supplies were right now. You could trust me on that, Captain Kaze, Zane said. With that, all members of the medic divisions leave the captain camp as all follow Zane, lead towards the supplies camp that consists of the healing potions. The moment Ren was there, he could see that this was not a small task at all, as they were entrusted with over 50 crates that inside were all healing potions. He knows that the vial of the healing potions is easily shattered, so Ren needs to make sure that it arrives without any damage. Let's begin to load these crates to the carriage then. After that we will leave the camp and head to the front lines. Say, Ren. It took them half an hour to finish loading all of the crates into the carriage. As Ren didn't know how to be a coachman, Zane was in charge of that task, as well as Iser. They would be using a 2-horse carriage, one for the crates and one for their transportation. Before they left, Ren asked them again to check whether they had left something or not, as he knows that they can't afford to turn back once they hit the road. With no one forgetting about anything, they then began to move. While in the carriage, Riku, could I ask you a favor? Ren asked that. A favor? Riku said that as she was rather curious about what Ren wanted help with. I wanted to learn how to use a sword. So could you teach me about swordsmanship while we're on this trip? Ren said. That has been inside Ren's mind from yesterday, the moment he accepted the task in front of the members of his division. As he realized that this task is quite dangerous, and with a priest crozier, he wouldn't be much of a use in a battle. That's why Ren was so eager to learn how to use a sword or any weapon. He isn't a person that would hide behind his division member when there's a battle. Even though it has just been a few days, Ren has taken the role of the head of the medic division. He doesn't sully the reputation on the only captain among the division that let another fight for him while he's just cowering behind them. That's why he was determined on learning swordsmanship, as he thought that the knights would be the best person to teach him that skill, and he would be able to learn from it quicker. Yet Riku's answer was quite surprising for Ren. Are you joking? You can't wield a sword if you're already a priest. Holding a sword would be violating the priest code. You should know that already. Riku said. Hearing that was shocking, as Ren knows nothing of this priest code at all. But he couldn't just say it was a joke, as Ren was rather serious about it. He didn't care about the code that much, as he basically doesn't remember pledging himself to that, so it wouldn't apply to him. According to Ren logic, of course. No, I was serious about it. I don't give a damn about the priest code. This is a battlefield. I can't protect myself using only a priest crozier, as I doubt that will ever penetrate the skin of the demon. The moment Ren mentioned he was serious, Riku's facial expression changed, as if she can't believe that Ren meant what he had said. I understand that. I'm sorry for thinking it was a joke. But you don't need to worry about it. We're capable of fighting the demons by ourselves, so I'm aware of that. You guys are strong, but I want to help as well. I couldn't just let you guys do all of the fighting jobs. As a captain, I need to be in there too. You are a strange fellow, as this was the first time I heard that a priest wanted to learn swordsmanship. Seeing you're this eager, Ren, I would teach you the basics, but in one condition, of course. What's the condition then? If there is a fight against the demons, you would not join the fight. Focus on giving us support, and only use the sword to defend yourself while we're unable to keep you safe. Ren laughs for a bit. I think that there's more than one condition there, but I accept that, as I don't think that I could fight demons when I was still a novice using a sword. I would be just a hindrance for you if I decided to do that. Glad you understand that. We would start training when we made our next stop to rest the horses. Is that all right with you? Rika said that. Sure, I'm fine by it. Chapter 9, Training. Just like what Captain Kaze had said, there aren't demons on site at all. The trip was pretty much safe at the point where all of the medic division members could relax for a bit. Enjoying the vast dead surroundings, no trees, just rocks and dirt. Seeing this place had made Ren realize that war has ruined everything here. He began to wonder what started this war actually. He knows that the demons were a force of evil, but there must be something that triggers the war at first. As someone that hasn't finished, or even knows any of the lore of the game Code Saga before, Ren had no idea what world history was. But Ren is aware that asking about it would somehow make him like he isn't in this world. So he refrains from asking that question and decides to unravel the mystery of this world itself. As soon as he's out of this job of his at the moment, it's finally the time to take a stop, as the horses were looking pretty tired already. With that, Ren knew that the time for his training would begin soon enough. He feels very excited for it. He really hoped that he could master the basics in a few days. It seems like we're going to rest here. Are you ready for your training, Ren? Rika said that. Of course, I can't wait to start the training. Let me tell you something. I would be very strict with you, as swordsmanship skill isn't something that we knights take that lightly. That would be no problem. It's better for you to be strict with me. That way I would learn it better. Ren said that. I like that spirit. No wonder you have been chosen to work here despite being a priest. Riku said as she grabbed one of the swords that she brought upon with her as a spare. She then tossed the sword towards Ren. Ren catches it in surprise, wondering why Riku is giving him a real sword. As if, he then realized the intention of Riku, but still wasn't sure if that really what she meant by giving him this steel sword. Riku, are we training with real swords? Ren asked that question. Yes, we are. Is there any problem with that? That was the answer which Ren feared the most coming from Riku. Really? Isn't training with a real sword when I was still a novice a bit dangerous? Well, you're right. It's dangerous, but I don't bring a wooden sword with me. Seeing your enthusiasm, I feel like you don't mind whether we train with a real sword. Is Dash hearing that? Ren can't possibly deny that, as it would label him as a coward and also show that he really isn't that passionate about learning the way of a sword. No, of course I don't mind. I was just a bit surprised, that's it. I see. Well, it would be fine. Even if you got injured, you could basically heal yourself, right? You do have a point there, so let's start training then. Ren said that. As the carriage finally made a stop in the barren land, both of them quickly headed out of the carriage and proceeded with the training immediately, while the other members of the division do their own thing in the meantime. Just like what Rika said, she was really strict on the training. Every mistake that Ren had made would get a punishment. Even knowing that Ren was a beginner at this, Riku simply doesn't care about it. Despite the harsh training that was given, Ren didn't give in yet, as he really wanted to master swordsmanship. To endure all of this, he thought of this as a tutorial of a game that he always played. One that finished it would obtain a skill, which was the basics of using a sword. The first lesson that Ren was taught was how to properly wield a sword in the hand, as it was the common mistake that everyone makes. It was pretty basic, so he was able to pass it very quickly. I think you really had a talent in swordsmanship here. I wonder why you became a priest in the first place. Riku asked that question while training Ren. That question makes Ren think for a while, as he comes to this world without knowing any backstory of the character that he had made. He does know why he chose a priest class before, but there's no way Ren could tell that towards Riku, as he was afraid that it would make Rika think he's crazy. So the best answer that Ren could give towards Riku is, to be honest, I just wanted to be able to help in some sort of way in this world. That's why I became a priest. Ren said that he can't think of a better reason than that. I see that's noble indeed. To think that my reason to become a knight is for my very own selfish reason. Rika said that as her mood was looking quite down. Hey, it doesn't matter who it for as dash. Before Ren could finish his sentence, Zane interrupted him as he was running towards the both of them and yelling something from afar. Both Riku and Ren look at Zane. It seems like he had something important that he wanted to rely on them. What's matter, Zane? Did some of the healing potions break on the trip? Ren said that loudly. No, it's coming. Zane's words couldn't be heard by them, as he was still quite far from the both of them. When Zane finally came closer, his words began to sound clear and both of them were shocked upon hearing what was said by Zane. They can't believe that this was really happening at this moment. Are you sure, Zane? Are there really demons up ahead, and it's coming our way? Riku said that she needed some confirmation. Chapter 10, Demons Attack. I can't believe what I had heard coming from Zane at all. How come the demons suddenly appeared right now? While we're on this journey to the front lines, it doesn't make any sense, and if they're approaching here at the moment, it could only mean one thing, that the front lines have been destroyed by them. Riku immediately tells Zane to gather all of the members of this division here to discuss this demon's issue. Zane simply nodded as he quickly ran towards the other to inform him about the situation we're having right now. Knowing that we had to deal with a demon's situation right now, it's probably best for us to hold our training until the matter is resolved. So Riku, what should we do? I ask her. We wait for the others to assemble here. After that, I will tell us the plan. Rika said that calmly. Seeing all of this makes me realize something, that I am actually just in charge of healing. When it comes to battle, Riku was the one that took over my role as a captain, as she seems rather experienced in battle compared to the other people on the team. A few seconds later, the whole team assembles right here. Riku then asks Zane about the demons first. Are you sure that you saw the demon, Zane? You could be mistaken about it. Zane shakes his head. No, I saw it. You tell me to scout the area further, and I saw it with my own eyes. A horde of demons is coming this way. From what I heard earlier when the both of them were talking. Apparently, Zane used to be a scout before becoming a squire, as he had this unique skill called Observer, which could let him see further than any normal human could. Hearing that makes me realize that all people might have a unique skill of their own, but only I have none as I do belong to this world. Is that the case? What will we do then? Should we proceed to the front lines and deliver the supplies? Iser asked. I doubt the camp on the front lines still exists if the demons had reached this far. It might be best if we route back to the main camp, Rika said. That's the best option we had, but I don't think the horse is ready yet. They are still pretty tired. Maya said. I understand. Riku paused for a bit as she looked towards Zane. Zane, how long do you think it takes for the demons to arrive at our location? I am not sure. Maybe about 5 hours or less. If that is the case, after 3 hours, all of you need to leave this place and head back to the main camp. I would be holding them off. All of the people, including me, were shocked upon hearing what Riku had just said to all of us. We can't believe that she's going to be here fending them off, just to buy more time to get ahead. Maya immediately says, no, I don't want that. If that is the case, I will also be here with you, Riku. All feel the same way as I disagree with the decision and wanted to stick together. I, on the other hand, was afraid of dying and wanted to get out of here. But seeing all of the members of this division reacted this way, I had no choice but to act the same as them. With a calm smile on Riku's face, I know, but I can't let you, young squires, be killed. You all had much potential to become a better knight than me. She paused for a bit. Besides, you all had a mission. That was to ensure Ren's safety. We can't afford for him to be captured by the demons. Hearing that made me shocked for a bit, as I thought I would encounter a demon. It would surely kill me. But to capture me, there must be a reason why they wanted to do that. The others still argue with Riku on this matter. Ahem. I coughed just to get their attention. Could I have a say in this? Their argument ended the moment I let out the fake cough, as I had gained their attention. Sure, Iser said. I know that you all wanted to be here with Riku, which I am as well, but if we don't relay this info to the main camp, a lot of lives would be lost as they're not prepared for this sudden demon attack. But if you wish to be here, then be prepared to bear the guilt of that life that would soon be lost because of you. I said that. To be honest, I just wanted to head back to the main camp as I knew I would be protected there, but simply saying that would just make me a coward, which surely would ruin my reputation. All went silent after hearing what I had said, as if they all were thinking about the words I gave them. You heard the leader of this division, and he's right. I am buying this time not just because I wanted to let you guys escape, but to reach the main camp and warn them ahead of time. Captain Kaze was able to devise a plan. Rika said that. But Dash, Zane said, but interrupted. No, listen to Run and me. Besides, if the main camp failed to withstand the demons ambushed, the nearby village would get ravished by them and half of this area would fall into the territory of the demon. Riku said that to convince them to leave. After a few minutes, the three of them give a nod. We understand. We will be heading back and relay this information. Zane said. Good that I was expecting out of you. Make sure to do that, and don't let my sacrifice be in vain. Rika said that. Chapter 11. Can't leave you behind. After a few hours of rest, it's finally time for us to leave this place. With a heavy heart, we rode our carriages and headed back towards the main camp, while leaving Riku all alone in that place, trying to buy us some more time to be able to warn the main camp and prepare for the sudden demon attacks. Of course, we try to give Riku a few of the healing potions in the crates to boost her survivability, but she refuses to take them, afraid that the demons would be the ones using it instead of her. Along the way, I could see that their faces were gloomy, as if all of them don't want to part away with Riku. I, on the other hand, felt a bit guilty about making this division split apart. Maybe we all should stick together, or I at least try to persuade Riku to come with us. Maybe Riku might change her mind and come along with us, back to the main camp. Because I am the leader and Riku might follow my order after all, but will she even listen, as I feel like my authority isn't at that part? Yet I really felt that I could have done more. I don't see anyone get killed here. Even though we just met for a short amount of time, and also I hardly knew these guys. Still, as a captain of this division, I feel like I couldn't just let my team member die. But what could I do, as my task was only to provide healing and support cause? Wait, that's my task. Zane, stop the carriages. I said that pretty loudly. Hearing that, Zane stopped it immediately and asked me whether something was wrong. I want you all to proceed back to the main camp. I will be going back to Riku. What? Are you insane? Rika told us to secure Dash. Before Zane could say any other words, I quickly intervened in his speech. Listen, Zane. I know you understand what I said earlier, but I can't just let Rika die there. I will convince her to head back to the main camp. I wouldn't let anyone in this team die. I said that towards Zane. But you're our priority, ensuring your safety. We can't let the demons get you. I know that if I get caught, they will extract the information out of me, but don't worry. Even if I was captured, I don't think I would tell them anything at all. I don't know where all of this bravery suddenly comes out from, but it might be because I simply don't care about anything regarding myself. Even if I was killed or tortured at all, I just don't care, as this wasn't the world I belong in. No one will care if I die anyway, and I doubt the demons could extract anything out of me as well, as I basically know nothing about the god Enos at all. But Ren, doing that might get the Captain Wrath and the other priest as well. So I wouldn't dash, I am well aware of that. But do you really want Riku to die there by the hand of the demon? I don't think you would want that to happen. Of course I don't want Riku to get killed, but if something goes wrong, you would get killed as well. You don't need to worry about me, Zane, despite me being a priest. I have developed magic that might hold the demons for a while. Really? Zane said that in surprise. Why do you think I was picked among the other priests on the battlefield? I said that. To be honest, I don't have anything like that, but to let Zane let me go back to where Riku was. I had to make up a lie. I doubt that the squires or anyone else besides Captain Kaze know the reason I was here in the first place. I didn't think of that at all. If so, go. Persuade Riku to head back to the main camp. Don't worry about the others. I will tell them. Zane said. With that being said, I then exited the carriage and began to run towards the place where Riku was. We still weren't that far from the area even if we took the carriages. I just hope that I can make it there in time. I don't want to see Riku's dead body lying on this barren land, and I wouldn't allow it to happen. The moment I got there, I was relieved to see that Riku was still standing there and the horde of demons wasn't there. I approached Riku slowly as I was too tired because of all of that running before. Riku, I shouted. She then turned her head, and I could see that she thought of me as a demon or an enemy, as her hand was about to unsheath the sword already. But as soon as Riku saw me, she looked at me with surprise. Run. Why are you here? I thought you were with the other right now. Riku said that. Isn't it obvious, Riku? I am here to help you fight against the horde of demons. Are you crazy? You're just a priest. There's no way you could dash fight. I know that, but I still could provide you the support you needed, heal you, and distract the attention of the demons. You're stupid, you know that. The demons would capture you and use your knowledge of light against us. Riku said that angrily. This was the first time I saw Riku make this facial expression before, but I am ready for it, as who wouldn't be mad if someone goes against their order. I might be stupid, maybe I'm stupid, but I just don't want to lose someone I hold dear to my heart die just like that dash before I could say anything else. I saw that Riku's face began to blush the moment I said that. I don't know what exactly happened to her. Did I say something wrong? Chapter 12, Stand Together. Are you saying that you love me? Riku asked that question while blushing hard. Of course I am. I love you and all of the members of this division. I can't afford to lose any of you guys at all. I said that. After I said that, Riku's facial expression changed as she was not even blushing anymore. I see, Humph. It seems like she got mad, but why? Did I say something wrong? I think not, as I was simply stating that I care for all of the members of this division. But for men, we didn't know what we did. That's why I always stay away from girls. This wasn't the time to think about that. What's important now was to talk with Riku about the hordes of demons that are about to come here at any time. Listen, Riku, this is not time to get mad. We could still have time to escape from here, but if you wanted to stay and fight, I would give you the support you needed. I will not run. I will stand my ground here. You're the one that needed to go to run. This isn't your battlefield. Head back to the main camp. Riku said that towards me. But before I even come here, I already made up my mind to not run away from this battlefield, even though I am afraid of it, as the chances of myself dying is high. I don't know where all of this confidence comes from, but I think it's coming from the charisma stats that I had invested in this character. That's why I can keep my composure even in this dire situation. No, I do realize I had no skill in fighting like you. But despite that, I wanted to help, as fighting the demons isn't only a knight's job. The priests should also involve themselves with this, as light magic would surely be a great help in the battle against the demon. I said, you have a point there, but what if you get captured? They will use light against us, and how are we able to defeat them if they possess that power of light? That's why I can't let you stay here. Riku said, you're as stubborn as heck, you know that, but also am I. So, I wouldn't leave unless you leave. I said that to Riku. Riku smiled at me. You're the first person I met to be this persistent. If this is what you want to do, then I allow it, but don't blame me if you get killed in the battle. Of course not. I would blame the god for not granting me its protection. It seems like Riku finally had accepted the fact that I wanted to fight alongside her. That's good, as there's no point in arguing about this matter when the horde of demons might come at any moment now. Better to use the time we had left to devise a strategy against the demon. Riku then tells me to stay behind her and doesn't allow me to fight unless I was surrounded by the demons. My main job was to provide healing and other support type things, like a light barrier and blinding light. But I had a problem, of course, with that, as I only know light heals at the moment. Other than that, I had no confidence in casting any one of them. I should have practiced more while I was on the way here, not just the light heals. But again, who am I to expect that I would be on the battlefield fighting demons? That's just far from what I had thought I would be doing. Still, I had to try, as I couldn't let Riku down like this. She expected me to provide support, and I shall do that. Besides, this is the reason why I built this type of character in the first place, to give support to my friend who was a knight class character. I do have time left, so I could just read a couple of pages in the notes given by Aaron, as it does have all of the light magic that presumably this character had learned in the past. Here it was, a light barrier and the blinding light. Priest Magic 03-Light Barrier. Pray to the god Enos, the divine god. Thou shalt be protected by its fierce light. Creates a dome-shaped shield around its user composed of light magic. Blinding light. God Enos' magnificent light will guide the truth and repel evil. Thou shalt be the light bringer of the world. Create a ball of light that would disperse the area and explode, able to kill or render evil forces. Dang it. It just explains stuff, but none of this tells me how to perform it at all. Before I could even test it out, from afar, I could hear the sound of troops marching towards us. Knowing that no knight is coming to this place, it must be the sound of the horde of demons that are going to be here soon. It seems like they're here earlier than I expected. Are you prepared for it? As there's still time for you to escape from here, Riku said. Somehow my feet tremble as I realize that I'm scared of this. But I can't make myself look lame in front of Riku after all of the things that I had said to her. You think I would run now? I've been waiting for this, I said. With that, Riku threw me one of the iron swords that we have been using while she's training me in swordsmanship earlier this day. I doubt that your priest staff wouldn't do much. Take that to protect yourself if I get killed earlier. Thanks, but don't you dare to die earlier, Riku. Because both of us will survive this no matter what happens. I said that. The sound of the demon's battle cry could be heard from our place already, meaning that our battle will soon start at any moment. Chapter 13, near the end. Are you ready, Ren? This ought to be your first official battle experience, Rika said towards me. Of course I am. If not, why would I come here in the first place? That's nice dash. Riku paused for a bit as she then said, if we both die here, will we see each other in the afterlife again? That's for sure. We died almost at the same time, so for sure we would be meeting each other. So it's a promise then? Knowing that our chances of survival might be thin, making a promise might boost our morale here, and there's nothing wrong with making that kind of promise either, in this situation. If you wanted that, yes, it would be our promise. So make sure to fulfill your part later. You can count on me with that, Rika said. The sound of the demon's war cry became much clearer, and from afar, we could see countless unknown figures approaching this area. This was the first time I would be encountering the demons, and might be my last one as well. When they were in our range to see, it was quite surprising for me to learn that the demons were 10 times bigger than our size. The smallest one they had could be compared to the elephants, which are still big. Their body was also quite muscular, but what I could see was that most of the demons didn't wear any armor. Some wear armor, but not full armor, mostly covering their chest and legs. But I kinda understand why they didn't cover the head part, as no way humans would be able to reach that height at all. What piqued my interest was their choices of weapons, of course. Most of them were hammers that were probably made from iron. None of them was a one-handed weapon. It seems like the demons wanted to crush us like a fly. Well, that was expected given how small humans are to them. But even if we're small in size, we compensate for that in our agility. As for sure, wielding those kinds of weapons will decrease their mobility, and it also took time to evade our attack due to how heavy that weaponry is. So we would have the time to deliver some lethal strike to the demons. Yet, can we even do that? As for sure Riku would be surrounded by demons? I think that's the part where I should help her, distracting the demons or giving her the light barrier, as that way she wouldn't worry about the other demons that are coming towards her at all. Still, I wasn't sure if I could provide that kind of support. So I had to put faith in the God of this world than to grant me its power and miracle me. If not, truly the world had no God at all, or it simply had abandoned us. Riku gives me one last look indicating that it's time for her to fight already. I give her a nod as she then charges towards the battlefield. I followed her right after that, as I needed to be in range or I couldn't provide her the support that she needed. As soon as the demons saw Riku, most of them also charged her. I feel like Riku really couldn't deal with that many demons by herself, but surprisingly, I was wrong. Riku was truly a knight as she swept through 4 of the demons at once, crushing their heads in an instant. I was shocked to see how strong and agile Riku was. Even for a second there I believed that she could take down an entire horde of the demons by herself. Yet I doubt that could happen, as surely there's a certain demon out there that might be stronger than Riku is. Besides, it's impossible to defeat a horde of demons by yourself. All that I could do was watch from a distance. I felt so useless. I did try a couple of the light barriers or the blinding light spells, but I couldn't figure out how it works, so I was not able to help at all. For now, I was just waiting for the time when Riku would get hurt so that I could heal her wound, but it wasn't happening at all. On the other hand, Riku had killed about 20 of the demons already and was still going strong at the moment. Seems like her stamina wouldn't be running out at all. I wonder how strong she is. But even if I could get those things to work out, I doubt I could cast it numerous times. From what I know, my mana capacity isn't that many at all. So I think I could only do it a couple of times, and those spells kinda require a lot of mana as well. I haven't given much thought to this before coming here, aren't I? I feel like I am just burdening Riku here. Maybe I should head there and use this sword. That way I could be more of a help rather than. That's not a good idea. I will be killed in an instant. Wait, no matter what, I would get killed anyway, so why would I be bothered about that at all? With that I have made up my mind, wielding my crosier and the sword that had been given to me. I head down to the battlefield to enter the fight, and hopefully be able to contribute more. The moment I was in the sight of the demon, it quickly tried to attack me. Luckily, I saw that one coming, so I was able to dodge it perfectly. I used this opportunity to try to attack the demon, but I wasn't able to jump high enough to hit its head. I could just graze the armor in its leg, which does nothing. That attempt at the attack made me close with the demon, and it wasn't a good decision at all. I wasn't able to dodge its attack, as no matter where I went, I couldn't escape the range of its big hammer. The demon tried to squash me, and all I could do was try to deflect it with my iron sword, which I knew would do nothing against it. One question in my mind: is this how my life will end? Chapter 14. Heaven? Ugh. I opened my eyes slowly. I immediately noticed that the entire scenery had changed. I wasn't in the barren land anymore, yet in a big, empty space. What happens to me? That was the first thing that I asked myself, as the only thing I could remember was I was nearly getting squashed by the demon hammer. After that, I can't remember anything at all. Does that mean I get killed by? I shrug off that thought almost instantly, as I can't believe I get killed that easily, and even if I did die with that attack, I should be in heaven or something, as I did sacrifice myself there. So where the heck am I right now? As this shouldn't be heaven. There's nothing here at all. Out of nowhere, there's a soft female voice telling me what to do. I quickly look around, but see nothing at all, making me wonder if someone is saying that thing just now, or it was just my imagination. Come forth. There's that voice again. Surely it was not my imagination. Does it say to come forth? In which direction? This place seems to have no end at all, as it's just a big space. Come forth dash. Well, this voice won't disappear until I do what it says. It's rather annoying, so let's just go in any direction in that case. I stood up and began to walk forward until a bright light appeared. It was so bright that I had to close my eyes for a moment. You can open your eyes now. I have waited for you. A female voice says that towards me. I was still unsure whether to open it or not, but my curiosity overwhelmed me as I wanted to know who's that person that is currently talking to me. The moment I opened my eyes, I saw a fair-skinned lady. It was really gorgeous and all white, making me think that she was an angel for a second there. Who are you? I couldn't help but ask her that question. You might not know me, but I'm what humanity calls Enos. The fair-skinned lady said that. Enos? I think I had heard that dash. I stop as I can't believe that in front of me was the god Enos. It's hard for me to even believe that this all was even real at all. Yet there's something that has been bugging my mind ever since the lady says that she's Enos. As I believe that God had a very calm personality and could answer every question that you had. I then asked her about something. Are you Enos? But isn't God Enos supposed to be a male god? I said that. The fair-skinned lady simply smiled at me as she said, I'm indeed Enos, but humanity seems to have represented me in a wrong way. But that's fine as long as they're following my teachings correctly. So should I call you God or Goddess then? Enos is fine, but if you wanted to use a title when addressing me, I prefer Goddess rather than a god, as that sounds a bit feminine, right? Goddess Enos said that. Yes, it does sound a bit feminine, but isn't Enos a male name? So calling you Goddess might not have much of a difference if you ask me. I said that without thinking at all. Well, that's kinda rude, you know. I'm still a goddess, so dash. Realizing that I had offended a deity, I quickly kneel and beg for her forgiveness, as I am aware that she holds the power to destroy me in an instant if she wishes it so. Because the one that stands in front of me was a goddess after all. I didn't mean to offend you at all, Goddess Enos. I'm just dash. No need to kneel like that. I'm not mad, but just a little bit surprised that the first human that ever met questions my name like that. But for now you could stand up. I was relieved that I didn't get a heavenly punishment or something like that. Well, the goddess does have that merciful personality on them. As I was thinking about what the goddess had said before, I realized something. Wait, I'm the first human you ever met. I said that. Yes, you are. Why? Is that a problem? Of course not. But I thought that goddesses like yourself have met humans before, as it isn't part of your job to oversee people whether they're going to heaven or not. To be honest with you, it's not my job, as that was an angel duty and I can't reveal myself to humanity at all. That kinda makes sense there, as there's no way a deity would be doing all that stuff alone. Surely they had some helper to sort that kind of a matter. Okay, but why would you meet me then? As what you said earlier doesn't match the situation that is happening right now. I said that. It's because you are an irregular, and that's why I need to see you for myself. Irregular? What does she mean by that? Am I not human? No, it can't be, as the goddess itself called me a human. I don't understand what you're saying. Let's just say that you can't die no matter what, as your soul wouldn't be accepted to enter the heaven of this world. Just like I thought. I was already dead, but it's still shocking to learn that I couldn't die at all. So that means I am immortal? Part of it. Your body isn't immortal, as it could get destroyed, but what's permanent is your soul. As no matter what happens, it was the only thing that would remain in this world and couldn't pass on at all. Knowing that, I was aware that my body surely had been crushed by that giant hammer, as that was the cause of my death after all. Are you saying that I would become a ghost or a spirit then? Chapter 15, Souls. Goddess Enos then smiled towards me as she said, "No, you wouldn't become a spirit or a ghost at all, as your soul will simply return to your dead body." I see. So that means I become an undead then. I then realized what I had just said. Wait, really? Will I become an undead? I asked that, as I'm quite worried. That's the only way to explain it. Technically, yes. You would become an undead, but you wouldn't need to worry, as I would be able to resurrect you the moment your soul returns to its body. It seems what I thought was right, but there's still something that I didn't quite get. That was the part of resurrecting me. Why bother to do that? Isn't it kind of a hassle? I am nobody, not even someone great. So you could just leave me. Before I could finish what I'm about to say, Goddess Enos interrupted it. Didn't you hear what I said earlier? You're an irregular, something different, and so it doesn't make you nobody at all. Goddess Enos said that. Forgot about that part already, sorry. I then paused for a bit as I realized something. So, is there any reason why you brought me here then? Yes, I do have a reason. That's why I brought your soul here, because I wanted to ask who you are and how your soul can't enter heaven. Even the Goddess Enos was curious about me. Well, why shouldn't she, like what she said? I'm an irregular human. That's why she had taken interest in me. Yet before I answer her question, there's another thing that I wanted to know. About what has happened to Riku. Did she also get killed, or did she survive and still fighting the demons as we speak right now? I would answer, but I demand you to tell me about something first, as it's rather important. I said that to the goddess. I am aware that it's crazy to ask your demand with a deity, but I don't care. I just wanted to know whether Riku was safe or not. Because if she dies, I would have regretted my action, as I could prolong the battle by giving her healing. With the battle extended, there might be a chance that Captain Kaze would send out reinforcement to us. Of course, the moment I knew that I couldn't die, that means that I couldn't uphold the promise that I made with Riku. As I'm the type of person who will never break a promise in any circumstance at all. You're really brave or either foolish to make a demand, but I will let this one slip away, so ask away what you want. Goddess Enos said that. Thank you. What I wanted to know was about my comrade, Riku. Is she still alive? I see. That's what you want. Sadly, I couldn't fulfill your demand. But why? Doesn't you said earlier that I do not hold the power to oversee what has happened in the world, thus I couldn't help you with that. Are you a goddess? I said that rather angrily. I couldn't keep my emotions after hearing that. Because I can't believe that a deity couldn't oversee what had happened in their world. Feel like the deity simply didn't care about the one that follows its teaching at all. Maybe the goddess Enos doesn't even know the world of Saga was on the brink of destruction, as the demons had been destroying almost everything. Watch your tongue there, human. Despite lacking that power, I could still obliterate you. Goddess Enos said that in a somewhat serious tone. Then do it. But I know that you can't do that at all. It's not because you're not powerful. It's because my soul is immortal, and even a deity like yourself couldn't destroy it. That's why you brought me here, to try and learn more about it. I said that rather confidently. Goddess Enos went silent after hearing what I said, as if what I said was true, that I'm immortal and couldn't be destroyed using any methods at all. You're the first human that I feel to become a pain in my ass. Here I thought I could act as a proper deity. Then a disrespectful little human comes and destroys the image that I wanted to present. So do you think that it's my before I could even finish what I was about to say? Don't be cocky knowing that I couldn't destroy you. I still could trap your soul here forever. Goddess Enos said that. I didn't expect that the true behavior of this goddess would be shown after I told her that. It completely changed the thought of a goddess inside my head, as a deity was able to keep its composure despite any situation and also rather forgiving. But I wasn't afraid of her threat at all, as I doubt this goddess had that kind of power. Because the image of Goddess being a powerful being was crushed after I knew that it couldn't even see what's going on in the world that she ought to protect. Do it then. You think I would be scary? I wouldn't. I said that. Goddess Enos let out a sigh as she then said, I could, but I feel like there's no point in trapping your soul. Besides, I don't like to argue about this matter any longer. Let's just make a deal, a new one. I suppose the goddess is right. There's no point in arguing. What's the deal then? Like before, you tell me who you are, and I will allow your body to get resurrected once again, meaning that you would be alive again in the world, so that you could find who this Riku girl is. The goddess Enos said that. It's a good offer, but I feel like I needed more than that. Simply resurrecting wouldn't be good enough. Because if Riku was still alive and was fighting the demons, I couldn't help her in any way at all, as I am not powerful to support her in the battle, as I would just simply die again even if I was there. Chapter 16, Getting Power. I demand more than that. If not, I wouldn't tell you anything even if you threatened me with that sealing power of yours. I said that. Fine. But remember, if this request of yours isn't something that I could grant you with, you couldn't insult me. Just come up with something else. Goddess Enos said that towards me. Okay. I just hope that this goddess could give me that. If not, this is a pretty useless goddess to me. I need powers, something that could kill demons easily. The moment the goddess Enos heard what I had said, she let out a sigh, as if she's disappointed in my demand. Shouldn't know you. Humans, either wealth or power. That's the only thing you wanted the most. Should have expected that. You think I care? Just tell me if you could give me power or not. I said that her opinion on the entire human race doesn't matter much to me. As long as I get the power to save someone that I hold dear. I could give you that, but be more specific, as I doubt your body could handle the power that will be given by a goddess like myself. When Enos said that, I never really gave a lot of thought to what power I wanted to wield. That somehow makes me think about what power I want. As what Goddess Enos said might be true, my body probably would break if I got unlimited power from God. But what sort of power do I need? A better light spells to crush the demons, or something more like. I suddenly remembered something, as I have read a lot of light novels. The main character that has been transmigrated always had that ability, which I don't have right now. That was the system, as all of the main characters that had the system become somewhat overpowered in the story. Plus, there's also a lot of advantages to having a system-like ability. Knowing what I want, I quickly tell Goddess Enos about it. Could you give me a system? I said that. What? System is the name of a legendary weapon. I never heard of it before. Are you sure that's Dash? You don't know what system is? I said that in surprise upon hearing what Goddess Enos said. Yet I then realized something. Of course, Goddess Enos doesn't know what system is, as that kind of ability doesn't exist in this world at all. I should have noticed it earlier. How foolish I am to ask something that God doesn't even have. Of course I don't know. You think I mingled with humans. Knowing what's the latest gossip? Of course not. Well, that's my bad. I said to the goddess while thinking about what power I should ask then. Because I was afraid that the same thing might happen, I decided to see what power could the goddess grant me. Can I ask what sort of power you give me then? Glad that you asked me that. The goddess then explained to me the power that she could give me. I listened to it very carefully, as this is a crucial part. If I picked the wrong one, I could end up regretting it and knowing I couldn't do anything to change it. So I have to listen and know which one of the powers is good for me in the long run, and the power that allows me to crush the demons easily. After listening to it, I realized that all of the power was related to one thing. It was the light affinity, but it does have a different effect from each other. Yet the choice was so obvious, as only one of the powers stood out to me. That was the power called White Arts, as it would grant me the power of all the light magics. I would be able to cast it instantly and know the proper way to activate it, as the knowledge of the arts will be embedded in my memory. What's more appealing was that Goddess Enos mentioned that the White Arts was a power that was used only by the heavenly plane being, meaning that it's the power of the gods. So could we hurry this one up? As I still haven't heard your story. Goddess Enos said that. Just give me the power of White Arts, I said. I see that you choose that, a good choice indeed, but as I expected, humans do want the power of God. As I said, I don't care much about that. Just give me that power already. Doesn't want to end this one quickly. I said that. So come closer then. How could I give you that power if you're that far from me? I then walked close towards Goddess Enos as she also does the same. As we both stood near each other, we ended up gazing into each other's eyes. What the next dash, before I could even say anything further. I was shocked at Goddess Ina's action. Out of nowhere, the goddess kissed me on my lips. Her lips were so soft as they pressed against mine. I was so into the moment, but I then came to my senses a few minutes later. I'm feeling a little bit weird upon the goddess action, thus I quickly pushed the goddess away from me. What the heck are you doing? I said that while I was blushing real hard. I was confused about what had happened just now. I couldn't figure out why Goddess Ines kissed me all of a sudden, as it doesn't make sense at all. Why are you embarrassed? You should be grateful that you're able to receive a kiss from a goddess like me. You think I'm embarrassed? Of course not. I just wanted to ask why you're doing that, as you were supposed to give me power, not a kiss. I did indeed give you the power, but the only way to do it was with a kiss. As white arts are the power of a god, thus you must be somewhat connected to a god if you want that power. Kissing is the better way to do it unless you want something more dash stop. I know the reason. I said, just like that, my first kiss was stolen by a goddess. Chapter 17, No One No. I still can't get rid of the thought of it, as I didn't expect that I would get a kiss like that. Are you blushing? Goddess Ines teases me. I wanted to deny that, but there's no way I could do it, as I do realize that I'm indeed blushing. But who wouldn't, to get a sudden kiss like that? Of course I am. I never experienced something like that before. That was my first kiss. I was saving it for the one that I love. I said that. Goddess Ines then said, oh, sorry then, just so you know. That was my first kiss as well. Really? Someone as beautiful as you never had a first kiss? That sounds a bit fishy. It's fine if you don't believe it, but just look around you. There's no one here, plus I'm a deity. I couldn't simply give my kiss to anyone like that. The goddess said that towards me. Well, she does have a point there. There's indeed no one here, as this place was empty as heck, with no scenery and a single person here at all. Plus I know that she might not even want to do that, but to give me the power of white arts, Goddess Ines had to do that. Realizing that it's kind of my fault, I felt somewhat guilty stealing her first kiss as well. I'm sorry as well. I didn't know that it was your first kiss. I said that. Goddess Ines then smiles. Well, I guess that makes us even then. So how about we drop this subject, as I think it's time for me to ask you a question regarding yourself. It's part of the bargain. So what do you want to know about me? First of all, who are you? The moment Goddess Ines asked me that question, I realized that I never really introduced myself to her at all. Maybe I should start from there. The name is Ren Shizumu. I'm human by all means, but I am not from this world at all. I said that. I sensed that was the case already, but you're certainly different from the other people that have been summoned here before. Wait, are you saying that other people are from the same world as me? There are, but I doubt all of them are from the same world as you coming from. As you probably know already that a different world exists, but enough about that, as your case isn't the same as them at all. Goddess Ines said that. My case isn't the same? What do you mean by that? They were summoned by mages to become heroes of the world of Sage, but you aren't right. I could tell that, and that's why I'm saying your case ain't the same as the one that has been summoned here before. I see, but how did I get transmigrated into this world then? I said that. That I had no idea of, as the only known way to summon people from another world is using the mage's spell, but that's part of the god's magic as well. If not, they can't summon anyone if I don't permit them. So you're the one that chooses the hero? I only permit the summoning to be done. The act of choosing people is done by random, and I don't hold power on that. Goddess Ines then paused for a bit as she said, hey, we aren't supposed to be discussing this, as there's more you didn't tell me about yourself yet. Oh, sorry about that dash. With that being said, I then gave Goddess Ines a thorough explanation about who I really am and how I ended up in the world of Saga. As Goddess Ines might have some idea what happened to me, because it's kinda weird for me to be chosen, as I have no quality of a hero at all. So? Are you able to figure out what happened to me? I asked Goddess Ines as I wanted to know the answer. Nope, I had no idea at all what's happening to you. I would say that this a rare case, or should I say the first one that I ever dealt with. Goddess Ines said that. Really? There is no similar case like me at all. I'm sure of it, but not to worry, as I'm sure to unravel this mystery soon enough. You, on the other hand, need to help me as well, as I believe you might find something back in the world of Saga. Isn't that kind of a hassle? How do I even contact you? You're in this realm, and I was back on the world already. You're right about that. Sending you back to the world will mean that I will have no way to contact you anymore. Which kind of a problem? Because I didn't really believe in what Goddess Enos said that this was the first that ever happened, I decided to ask her that question again. But are you sure that you don't know anything about it? As there might be other deities that summon me here. Well, there are other deities, but I doubt they hold the power of summoning a person from another world. As only the Supreme One, that's me, of course, had the power to do so. So no other deities would be able to do so. Goddess Enos said that. So even Goddess Enos couldn't figure out why I was being summoned here at all, or who's the one that does that. Well, if I can, I wish to go back to my original world, but I can't, at least not until I know what happened to Riku. I feel like it's my fault if Riku was dead, as I couldn't provide her the support she needed. If Riku was still alive, then I would feel relieved. If it was the opposite, I guess the only possible thing to do left was to kill the demons. Chapter 18. You coming with me? To be honest, I wanted to get back to the world already, but I realized that I know nothing of the power of the white arts. Goddess Enos' explanation about this power isn't that great, because she's just telling what it was. What I don't know is what skill does white arts provides. How can I even activate one if I don't even know a single skill name? Tell me, what kind of skills I could use now since I have the power of the white arts? I said that to the goddess. As you're human, the skills you could use are quite limited. Limited? I thought I could use it all. I said that as I was quite surprised upon learning about it. I never said you could use all of it, didn't I? When I think about it, Goddess Enos was right. She never mentioned that I can use all of the skills, as she only says that I will gain the power of the white arts. I messed up here, but still I think it's a better choice than the other option I had. I should think positively here. Even though I couldn't use all of it, this isn't a skill that normal people would have. This could be considered as an S-tier skill set. Surely it would deal a lot of damage and be quite useful at least. Forget about that. Could you at least tell me what I could use for now? I said. Goddess Enos then mentioned what skill I could use. Indeed, it's not many, but from hearing the skill name only, I think it's pretty strong already. As I have Healing's Hand, Fist of Heavens, Holy Shield, Shining Light, Blessings, and Crusader Might. Of course, most of the skills don't seem to suit combat, as I think it's used to support someone. But at least I got 2 skills that I think are combat-type skills. That's better than nothing. All of the questions have been answered. I think it's time for me to head back to the world of Saga. As the more I stayed at the place, the more I wanted to know what happened to Riku. Can you revive me now? I said that to Goddess Enos. Not yet. We still haven't established how I would contact you when you get back to the living world. Goddess Enos said that. You still haven't figured that out yet? Don't know why, but I feel like I had lost the respect I had for godly beings, to be honest. Because here I thought God is all-knowing, yet it wasn't. Probably it's just the God of this world that is kinda useless. Hey, do you think it's easy to think of a way that fast? If you want to be reborn quickly, then help think of a way. Goddess Enos said that. This isn't my problem at all, but the sooner I can help this goddess, the sooner I will get reborn into the world of Saga. As I hate to think much, I then said without giving it much of a thought, how about you come to the world with me then? That way you would be able to learn more about my condition without needing to ask me about it. Upon saying that, Goddess Enos stared at me, as if I said something ridiculous. Well, maybe it was, as what I'm saying was for a deity like her to come to a place where mortals live. For sure I would get yelled at by Goddess Enos. What am I thinking saying that to a? Goddess Enos suddenly said, You're right. That's a good idea. What? Are you kidding me? I was only joking back then. I said that as I was quite surprised to hear her answer. I didn't expect Goddess Enos to accept that silly idea of mine, as I thought she would agree to that at all. Still, it was a great idea. That way I would be able to observe your case on my own. Goddess Enos said, Are you sure about that? Wouldn't a deity like yourself be in trouble if you decided to do that? I said that towards Goddess Enos. There's nothing wrong with me leaving here, as there isn't anything I can do here. All of the stuff was managed by the angels, so I think I could come down to the world of Saga. She replied, I don't think you should come to the world of Saga with me. I'm aware that you're a deity, but the world isn't as safe as you think. You do know that the reason I got here was that I was killed by those demons, right? I said that. Isn't you the one that gave me that idea in the first place? Now you don't want me to go there. Isn't that a bit dash? I know. But you're weak. Surely you would get killed by the demons. I said that. At least that is what I imagine Goddess Enos is right now. Because she hasn't shown her power yet to me, plus all of the things that I thought a deity could do. She couldn't even perform it. That's why I see Goddess Enos as weak. Hey, I'm a goddess. I could annihilate them in a blink of an eye if I wanted to. It's just that even a deity has restrictions about some stuff. So don't just assume that I'm a weak deity. Goddess Enos said that. Knowing that I couldn't possibly change the goddess's mind right now, I decided to just let this happen as if something did happen to her. It's not my responsibility at all, as she's the one that wanted to do this after all, although I am the one that told her about that idea in the first place. Okay then, I believe that. So let's not waste any more time then, I said that. Please hold my hand and close your eyes then. Please don't open them until I tell you so. She paused for a while. I will start doing it now. With that, I follow her instructions and close my eyes. I could hear that Goddess Enos started to chant something in a language that I don't know. I could feel like something is happening, but because I can't open my eyes, I can't know what's happening at the moment. Chapter 19. Revive? It's different. As I still close my eyes, I began to hear something. It was a voice, a female voice, but it wasn't Goddess Enos' voice at all. I can't remember whose voice it was, but it was something familiar, as I have heard this voice before. System boot up, initializing class priest, lock attribute. Light, that unknown female voice uttered those words. It surprised me to hear that. Does this mean that I had a system? But how could this happen as to why it would appear now? Shouldn't it be activated the moment I got transmigrated into this world? Goddess Enos? Do you hear what I heard at the moment? I said that as I wanted to know if the goddess had heard that as well. Hear what? If you ask whether I hear your voice or not, then yes, I heard loud and clear. Goddess Enos said that towards me. Hearing the goddess answer, I realized that I was the only one that was able to hear it. It's weird. Acquired Enos Arts, upgraded, acquired White Arts, acquired system, upgraded, acquired advanced system. That's the voice again. I think I know who the voice was. I can't believe it. It was the female narrator's voice that greeted me the first time I logged into the game. But before I could even think, I feel like my consciousness was slipping away, and soon after, could you wake up already? A familiar voice said that as I felt like my cheek was being pinched by someone. I slowly opened my eyes and realized something was wrong. I was back in my room as the one that pinched my cheek was Aaron. Seeing all of this makes me confused. Shouldn't I just get revived? Why the heck I was here as I should have been in the barren land which I got myself killed by the demon. Are you still daydreaming, Ren? Get up already. You know we're going to be late for our graduation ceremony. Aaron said that. Was all of that a dream? No, it can't be, as that was way too real to be a dream. It was so confusing that I wasn't able to think of anything at all. With that, I proceed as usual, and a similar thing happens to me. But of course, I have noticed something different this time around, as my vision isn't that clear anymore as I have this UI interface that kinda obstructs my view for a bit. After the graduation ceremony ended, I went straight ahead to my room because I was thinking too much. I didn't notice that I bumped into the same person and somehow got the same treatment again. I was sitting on my bed as I thought about some stuff that happened today, which made me realize that it wasn't a dream at all. All of that had happened, but that could only mean one thing. I somehow got back to the past, where all of this thing started. But how could I get back to the past? Was it because Goddess Enos was trying to revive me, and somehow things went wrong, and I ended up back here? Well, it's good as I know what will happen, and with that, I could prevent Ricka death, as I have gotten stronger in a system. Wait, I have a system. Realizing that I have a system this time around, I quickly open it up. Of course, I don't know how to open it, but after countless minutes of trying, I was finally able to make my system interface pop out and find that there's a lot of features that a system should have had. Yet I noticed that there's something new. A companion tab. I got myself curious and somehow click on it, and suddenly, a white silhouette with a very intense light comes out in front of me, which makes me close my eyes. As if I stare at it any longer, for sure I would get myself blind. What have you done to me? That voice. It belongs to Goddess Enos. Does that mean? I reopened my eyes back to see that it was Goddess Enos, but somehow I averted my gaze as soon as I saw her, as she was naked at the moment. Put on some clothes first. Luckily, I have spare clothes on my bed at the month, so without any hesitation, I then grabbed the priest's clothes I have on my bed and handed them over to her. Please, I can't speak otherwise, I said. Naked? What do you mean? I have my cloth. Goddess Enos stopped as she began to realize it herself. Give me those clothes. And don't try to speak to me, or else you would get some heavenly retribution. I swear that will happen if you decide dashed. Okay, I understand. Just put the clothes on already. I said that as I began to feel nervous. A few seconds later, before you could face me, I wanted to ask you whether you have to peek at me while I'm putting on the clothes or not. Goddess Enos said that. Of course not. I will never do that sort of thing. I said that towards her. Well, if that is the case, then you could look at me already, as I do have a lot of questions to ask you about. Goddess Enos said that. With that, I turned my head around to talk with Goddess Enos because I also wanted to ask her a lot of things. But the moment I look at her, I realized that she was rather cute. To be honest, wearing the priest's clothes I like it very much, but maybe it's because of my preferences. I love it when a girl wears large-size clothes that don't fit them. It somehow makes them cuter than usual. Hey, could you stop staring at me, please? It makes me uncomfortable. Oh, sorry about that. I will refrain from doing that. I said that toward the goddess. Chapter 20, Interruption. But I realized something as I tried to avert my gaze. Somehow the UI interface that obstructed my view was gone all of a sudden. It's weird as I thought it was permanent. Hey, are you listening to what I'm saying just now? Goddess Enos shouted that right in front of my face as I didn't pay attention to her at all. Sorry. You should be. Goddess Enos paused as she then said, but I would forgive you if you explained to me what's happening at the moment. Hearing that, I was quite confused, as I thought Goddess Enos had the answer for all of this, as she's the one that brings me back to the world of Saga. So I thought she had some idea of what's happening to me. You ask me, shouldn't you be the one that is explaining all of this to me? I said that. Me? You dash. Before Goddess Enos could say the thing she wanted to say, the door of my room was opened by Eren. Ren, I have the paper that will tell us dash. Eren stopped halfway as he noticed that there's a girl in the room. Who are you, and what the heck, Ren? Eren said that pretty loudly as he was surprised. Seeing how shocked Eren was, I quickly approached him and told him to calm down, or else other people might be able to hear him. Calm down. You know that it is forbidden for us to bring a female acolyte to the male dormitory. If the head priest knows about it, both you and I would be in trouble. Ren said that. Of course, I don't know that as I never even heard it before. Why? Because I'm not from this world at all. But again, I do not bring Goddess Enos here at all. Well, technically I did, but who am I to know that the companion tab in my skill menu would bring her out? Chill. Make your voice smaller. You do know that you will be the one that causes people to know about it. I said that. I will keep my voice down, but answer me this. What were both of you trying to do in this room? Eren asks that. How do I explain this to Eren? This is going to be difficult, as no matter what I tell, Eren will be suspicious of me. That's for sure. She's here because dash. I paused as I didn't know what to say. I couldn't think of any reason at all. Goddess Enos then came close to Eren as she began to say arrogantly, You think I care? I am a goddess and I wouldn't be afraid of that high priest of yours. Goddess Enos said that all of a sudden, which made me pull her arms as she still doesn't realize it yet. People in this world don't know that their god Enos was a girl, plus I doubt people will believe she was a goddess. People will just deem her crazy. I leaned to Goddess Enos, trying to whisper into her ear. What are you doing? You can't just call yourself the goddess here despite being one. As people here wouldn't believe that at all. Do you already forget what I say, in this world? Your follower depicts you as a male god, not female. I said that towards Goddess Enos. Goddess Enos replies that she didn't care. Plus, she said that out loud as well. Why do I even bother to warn her? But again, maybe she's right. She is the goddess after all. I don't think that anyone could harm her. As even if Goddess Enos doesn't know much of stuff, she is still a very powerful being. Eren looks at Goddess Enos after he heard what she just said, claiming herself as a goddess. Nice trick, but it wouldn't work on me. Do you think I will be that dumb to believe that? A goddess, clearly you're a human. Eren said that. That was something I expected. If I was in Eren's position, I also would say the same thing, as there are no ways I would believe someone that looks like a human was a god at all. Oh, if that is the case, I would show you then. That way you will know dash. I realized that if Goddess Enos decided to show her power here, for sure it would cause a huge mess. Which makes me have no choice but to prevent her from demonstrating her power, as it would be a problem. I pulled her arm yet again, leaned to her. Please don't do it. You might destroy this whole building up. I will do anything you ask later, so please just try to act like a human for now, because we still need to figure out what's happening to both of us. We can't do that if this pointless argument goes on. I whispered into Goddess Enos' ear. Goddess Enos looked at me very seriously. I will do this only once. Why are both of you whispering to each other? What are you guys hiding from me? Eren said that towards the both of us. There's nothing at all. I paused as I then looked towards Goddess Enos, right? Goddess Enos smiled, but the smile wasn't a smile at all. That's a smug face that she's making at the moment. Did the goddess do that intentionally, or she just doesn't realize that? Yup, nothing at all. Goddess Enos said that. Does she need to make that face? Does Goddess Enos not realize it will somehow make both of us more suspicious here? See, even she agrees with me that nothing is going on behind your back here. I said that towards Eren. Eren looks at both of us. It seems like he doesn't want to believe us at all. This is all Goddess Enos' fault for making that face. If not, we could get out of this mess rather easily. Chapter 21. What's happening? Just settle this outside, please. I don't want to be dragged into this mess. Eren said, telling us to leave. Well, I do not wish to involve Eren in this mess, so I think I should listen to him and talk with Goddess Enos somewhere private. Sure, just don't tell anybody about this. Is that okay? I said. Do you think I will? I'm your friend. There's no way I would rat you out to the high priest. Eren said that as he gave me a wink. What's that supposed to mean? Do Eren think I am having a lover's quarrel or something like that? If that was the case, I should. Wait, I can't. Eren shouldn't know about this, as it probably would make him question a lot of things. Plus, I doubt he's going to believe all of that as well. So it's rather pointless telling Eren about all of this stuff. At least that's what I think. Besides, it doesn't even matter what Eren thinks at all. It's not like we're going to stay together after this. As I know where I would be going next, the army encampment. I then grabbed Goddess Enos' hand. Let's go somewhere else. No, I would not. We're not going anywhere until you explain what is happening here. Goddess Enos said that out loud. Does she want to create a scene here? Just when I thought we could have our conversation in private. With what Goddess Enos said, Eren started to give me those looks again. Like I have done something wrong here. Please, we will discuss it, but not here, I said. I hope she's going to listen to me, as there's no way I would want to discuss this matter in front of Eren. I know that Goddess Enos wouldn't mind that at all, but I do not wish to involve Eren at all here. That's why it's best for both of us to talk about it elsewhere. No, I wouldn't dash. Before she could say anything, I just dragged her out with me by force, as it's the only way for her to leave this room. Both of us got out of the room and tried our best not to get spotted by the other people, as Eren warned us it would get me in trouble if that happened. Although, to be honest, it's not easy, as Goddess Enos gave me a lot of trouble as she tried to scream. I'm just lucky that I was able to cover her mouth before she could do that. I feel like I am kidnapping her in some sort of way. But if I hadn't done this, Goddess Enos wouldn't have moved at all, as this is the only option I had. I brought Goddess Enos to a place near the fountain. It is usually full of people, at least that is what I know from Eren's story. But I think the reason why it's empty today was because of the graduation day. I then let Goddess Enos go, and for she's mad by my action dragging her out here. But I already expected that it was coming. Truly, I am sorry about it, but I had to do it since you're not leaving the room at all, I said. Do that one more time. You sure will get a divine punishment. Nobody drags me anywhere without my permission. Goddess Enos said that as she's mad at me. After all of this, I realized something regarding Goddess Enos, that she's always angry. Well, sometimes she could be calm, but if you make a slight mistake or tick her off in some way, she would easily be offended and angry with you. But again, I guess that's why she's a goddess. As I do think that it's easy to ignite God's wrath if you do things that displease him. But in another way, God is easy to forgive his people as well, so I don't think Goddess Enos would be mad at me for a long time. Sure, I would not do that again with you, I said. That's fine then if you acknowledge your mistake, just don't do that again. Goddess Enos paused for a bit as she then said, so how about we talk about what's happening right now? Well, Goddess Enos already said that before. It seems like she also had no idea like me. That's why she asked me that question 2 times already. But now I am supposed to explain it to her. Because she wasn't the only one that knew nothing of this situation at all. As I also had no freaking idea what's happening to both of us. I suppose there's a way. That's just being honest with Goddess Enos her. Maybe if I tell her about the voice I was hearing when I was just about to get resurrected and brought to this world again. She might have an idea what it was, since Goddess Enos is a deity after all. But of course, if Goddess Enos doesn't have any information regarding that voice, I wouldn't blame her, since I know what the goddess is capable of doing. To be honest with you, I don't know what's going on right now, as I didn't expect us to be going back in time like this. I paused for a bit. But do you remember about the time when I say if you hear a voice when you're casting the resurrection spell? I do recall you saying that. As I do reply that I don't hear any voice at all at that time. But do you think that the voice is related to what's happening to us? Goddess Enos said that. I think the possibility of that is quite high. Do you know any other deity that dash? I stopped as I realized that there's no way I could describe the voice perfectly since I was the only one that heard it. Never mind that. If only Goddess Enos also heard the voice, the mystery might unravel for a bit. Chapter 22. Surprising Turn of Event. What do you stop? Can you figure out what's happening? Goddess Enos said that. Despite not being able to describe the voice perfectly, I still need to ask the question as I might be able to think of something here. Not really, but I want to ask if there's another deity that has the power to rival you. That's all I wanted to know. I said, I think there's no deity that has power equal to mine at all, so I don't think other deities could be behind this. This is hard. I can't figure out what's happening. But when I think about it, why should it matter to me? Isn't it great that I was able to go back in time, as I wouldn't need to worry whether Riku survived or not, as the demon's attack doesn't happen yet, meaning that I could still prevent all of that from happening. Plus, with my newly acquired power, I'm sure I could be, hey, stop daydreaming and figure out what's happening here. As this isn't what. Before Goddess Enos could finish off what she's going to say, I cut in. I'm just going to tell you this. It wasn't my problem to begin with. You should think it on your own, as this going back in time doesn't concern me at all. I said that as I realized there's no need for me to overthink about it since it doesn't affect me much. What? Are you going to disobey me? I'm a god and you dare dash. You're indeed goddess in this world, but unfortunately for you, I didn't worship you at all, so I couldn't care less. I said as I was just about to walk away from there, but something made me stop my movement. It's not like I was bound by magic or something like that, simply because Goddess Enos started to cry, which kind of made me feel guilty about all of the things I said. I might be a little too harsh on Goddess Enos. It's clear that Goddess Enos doesn't want this to happen and for me to just leave her like this. It does make me a very pathetic guy, to be honest here. Plus, I should remember that she's the one that gives me the power of white art. Also, without I wouldn't be alive now, as I might just be a wandering spirit in the heavenly realms. I'm sorry for the thing I said earlier. I will try to help you to figure out what's happening here. I said that as I wiped her tears with my hand. A goddess like you shouldn't cry over something like this, shouldn't you be tough? Unlike us humans. Goddess Enos looked at me. She hugged me as she then said something which shocked me. I couldn't believe what I'm hearing at all. This person whom I believe was Goddess Enos was not her at all. This girl confesses that she isn't the deity, as she's just an angel that works under the Goddess Enos. She simply pretends to be the goddess. I didn't expect this at all. I believe that she's the real Goddess Enos. Knowing about this does make sense in some way, as I am beginning to understand why she doesn't know a lot of stuff that a god or a goddess is supposed to know. But there's something that I couldn't understand, and that was the reason she's lying to me. Why would you do this? You know that imposing a goddess is wrong. I said that towards this fake Goddess Enos. I know it's wrong, but dash. The fake Goddess Enos stopped halfway as she didn't finish giving me the answer I needed to hear at all. I thought it was because of something personal, but it wasn't at all. As I turned behind and looked as if it was the high priest, with other acolytes as well standing behind me. I don't know what's happening, but I don't like where this is going. The high priest then looked at me as he then said, I heard from the other acolytes that the both of you are doing some indecent stuff. Wait, what? I was completely shocked upon hearing that. What indecent stuff? Both of us doesn't do anything at all. Besides, how could the high priest could get a hold of this information as no one besides? It can't be. Did Eren rat us out? But why would he do that? Isn't he as my friend, and doesn't he already promise me that he isn't going to tell anyone, especially the high priest, about this stuff? Can't believe that Eren breaks his promise. But is this Eren's fault to begin with? As I don't believe he could do this. I am aware that I have not known him for that long, but it's just impossible for him to do this towards me. Because I still remember what happened when Eren saw that I'm going to be in the front lines. He did everything he could to prevent me from going in there. Seeing that made me realize how much he values our friendship. So I have doubts about Eren breaking his promise to me here. All of this might be my fault, to begin with. Maybe other acolytes hear the sound from her yelling and, of course, spot us when we're getting out of the male dormitory. When I think about it, this might be the actual reason for it. We're not doing some indecent stuff at all. We just have a little talk, and that's all. I said that towards the high priest. But seeing the high priest's facial expressions, It seems like he's not going to believe what I'm going to say at all. Still, it's understandable as I had no proof to back up my previous statement at all. I'm afraid I couldn't believe you. It's a shame since I thought you would be a good priest. The high priest said as I clearly could see his disappointed face. Chapter 23. Exile. After that event, the high priest decided to exile the both of us from the temple entirely. But before he does that, the high priest does something to me, and I do feel something was taken from me. He also does the same for the fake goddess, though I do know whether the fake goddess has that same feeling or not since she's not from here. When that happens, all of the acolytes there seem to look at me in an ashamed look, as if we did something horrible here. We are simply chatting, and that's all there to it. Of course, I did try to explain, but the effort was mostly futile since the high priest didn't listen to any of it. Listen, all of you shouldn't be doing this act. You all should know well that purity is the one that allows us to use light's magics, and it will make us stronger. The high priest said that towards all of the acolytes there. Upon hearing that, I figured out that all of them were virgins. Since if the high priest mentions purity, that might be the case here, as there's no other way to describe it. Who has thought that purity is one of the factors to our strength, as this is the first time I ever heard about it? Well, of course the anime had this kind of stuff already, but mostly it only applied to female priests, not a male ones. I guess there's a lot of things that I didn't know yet in this world. With all of that, the high priest then kicked us out just like that from the temple. He wouldn't even give me time to gather my stuff at my room, as he just does that. Even our toilet's cloth were taken, as we are just given some dirty rags to wear as the high priest kicked us out. So we left the temple without anything in our hand, not even some coins. It was absolutely the worst case here, but what else could we do unless to just move on from this place? No matter how hard we begged them, I'm sure that they wouldn't let the both of us enter the temple again. As for them, we are a disgrace for doing something that we haven't done at all. The best we could do now was head to the nearby village, which is kind of far from here, but if we start walking right now, we should at least be able to reach it before dusk. At least that's my estimation. The only reason I knew there's a village in the first place was because I walked past that area before. Because when we arrived at that village, the first thing I needed to do was figure out what I would be doing next. Since all of this has somehow been altered from what I went through before, and of course the case about this fake goddess as well. There's a lot I wanted to ask about that stuff, but this place isn't good to be having a conversation since the temple guards are kind of glaring at us right now. Surely if we stay here for a bit longer, they would soon take action, so it's best for us to just leave on our own. Let's go. Just follow me, as I wouldn't want you to get lost here. I said that as the both of us began walking away from the temple. The atmosphere between the both of us was kind of awkward, as none of us dared to speak anything. Some part of it was because I was kind of mad at her, as she had lied about being a goddess. Though I know for a fact that even being a fake, she isn't a normal being at all, as there's no way she could be in the realm of the dead, or that would be called that place. So the possibility of her being one of divine beings is still there, but probably as an angel. It doesn't feel right to not have a few words along the way, and if this continues, for sure the both of us would be having a hard time communicating later on. So regardless of my angry feelings towards her, I need to break the ice by at least saying a few words to her. But before I could even say anything, the fake goddess held my hand all of a sudden. With that, I quickly looked towards her to ask why she does that, but after seeing it, I just let it be. Why? Because she shows the expression of being afraid right now. Thus I realized something about her, and that was she's pretty scared of what's happening now. Even if she's a being higher than us humans, for sure this is a terrifying experience for her to be in right now, as she didn't expect that she could be here, and without having no knowledge about this world. It's only natural for her to feel that way, because the same could be said to me when I first woke up in this world. I did have that kind of feeling as well, but I somehow managed to act fine in front of others. All because of one reason, that's I was a loner back then, and I always suppressed my emotions within me. But for her, it might be a different case, and I was the only person that she knows in this world. So seeing her act like this, my anger was somewhat subdued, as I know even she doesn't want this to happen. Also, there might be a reason why she lied in the first place, though I do not know why. I hope that it's a good enough reason at least, but for now, I think it's best for me to just assure her that everything is fine so that she wouldn't be this scared for now. Chapter 24. The Real Truth. Like my estimation, we arrive at the village when the sun is about to set. Though it's an awkward trip if I am going, being honest, since we are holding hands the whole time. Well, I know that there's nothing wrong with that, but I wasn't comfortable as I was a loner. So holding a girl's hand isn't something I do often. If I recall correctly, I didn't even hold any of the girls' hands before excluding my mother. I can't help being embarrassed by it, but I had to play it cool, and thankfully I didn't blush either, as that would surely make it worse. So the moment we arrive at the village, some of the villagers are kind of looking at us. But it's only natural for them to be looking our way since we are wearing a raggedy outfit. Kind of make us look like beggars here. But we are probably like a beggar right now as the both of us don't have anything. So I doubt that we even could afford any food or at least a place to sleep in when the nighttime came. Still, it's better than waiting outside of the temple, as at least this area is much safer. I do want to enter the inn at least, but seeing all of the villagers giving us weird looks, I somehow changed my mind, and it would be better to find somewhere more secluded for us to talk. Because what we're going to say after this would be rather confidential after all. I then picked a place where it's not really that many people walk by. I think you could stop holding my hand already. This is a safe place after all. I said that since the fake goddess is still doing so. Could I hold it for a bit more? The fake goddess said so with a pleading face, which was kinda hard for me to say no. I do admit that the fake goddess does have a cute face, and maybe that's why the villagers are looking at, as her beauty is indeed something else. I never really pay attention to it, but now that we're in this situation, it's hard for me to go by and not notice. So after a few minutes, she finally calmed down. It's finally time for me to ask her who she actually was, as that's what is currently in my mind the entire time. Could we talk now? I am curious about what you actually are, and I hope that this time you could be honest with me. I said that. The fake goddess face was a bit hesitant for a bit when I asked that question, as it seems like she doesn't want to spill the truth even in this circumstance at all. I do not know if that secret was something important that us mortals couldn't know of, but she ought to realize what situation she was in right now. Not telling me anything would make it pretty hard to figure out what's happening here. So keeping her knowledge and real identity a secret would just pose a problem at this time. This isn't the time to keep it a secret. You don't need to worry, as I wouldn't tell anyone about it. I said that. The fake goddess then looked at me as she said, "Promise me then that you would be keeping this a secret, since if this was heard by the mortals here, for sure it would cause havoc in this world." Havoc? I always thought that the secret was something serious, but never that I expected that it could be that worse. I guess the affair on the heavenly plane is much more serious than I thought. Like I said, there's no need for you to worry about that. It's better to tell me in that way you wouldn't need to figure it out on your own. That's my promise to you. I said that, trying to reassure her that everything would be fine even after she told me about everything. Okay, I believe you, as you're different from the rest of the humans after all. I will tell you everything, and the first thing was Dash. The fake goddess then explains to me, and she apologizes to me first for deceiving me to believe that she's a goddess, as she's not. She then said that her name was Anila, one of the angels that was created by the gods Enos. Indeed, the goddess was a female deity, just like what she had told me before, but it just wasn't her. The reason she lied was no mortals should know that the real goddess Enos has been missing from the heavenly plane. None of the other angels know where she went to, but one of the angels had made an assumption that the goddess itself had been killed by someone more powerful than her. As there's a trace of darkness in the heavenly realms, but they couldn't find anyone who was responsible for leaving that trace. So without the goddess, the heavenly plane was lost, so the eldest sister among the angels. She decided that each angel would govern one of the tasks of the goddess, to make sure that the heavenly plane was able to do what it was supposed to do. Thus Anila was assigned to oversee the dead souls of this world, while the eldest sister of the angels, Eve, she will try to find the goddess' whereabouts and to seek the truth on her own assumptions, that is, whether the goddess Enos has been killed or not. What was more shocking was this all happened quite a long time ago, and Anila also said that might be one of the reasons why this world was in chaos. As the existence of the goddess ceases to exist, and the darkness will keep on growing, as this was its chance to overthrow the remaining light that exists in this world. Chapter 25, Shocking Truth. Hearing all of those, I was quite shocked, to be honest, because I didn't really expect all of this. It all makes sense why the world was in chaos right now, all because the goddess Enos is missing, as she was the light. Which makes me wonder who represents the dark. Would it be the Demon Lord? Because that was always the case if this was anime or any of the games that I played. The one that portrays evil was also the Demon Lord. But could a Demon Lord kill a goddess? Most demon lords wouldn't have that much power unless they obtained divinity itself. Still, there's no proof to back my theory, as even the angels that Anil mentioned don't know who the culprit is yet. Maybe that's part of why I was being sent here in the first place, to eliminate that source of darkness before it gets stronger. You're the only one that could save the world. I still could remember those words clearly before I transmigrated into this world. If I recall correctly, the female voice does say that she's summoning me with her remaining power. Anil did say before that only a goddess could allow people to be transmigrated between worlds, so that might be the goddess Enos after all. It also explains why I did not possess much power even after being summoned here by the goddess itself. Since goddess Enos was using her remaining power to summon and couldn't grant me any more power as it must have been depleted or she must have been killed by then. I share this theory of mine to Anil to see whether she proves that the one that summoned me here was indeed the goddess Enos herself. But Anil didn't know anything. She responds that she herself never met the goddess, as only the top 5 angels could meet her. That was Eve, Seraphina, Marie, Rosa, and Arela. Thus, she couldn't be sure whether the voice that I heard was indeed the voice of the goddess herself. Wait, there's a ranking among the angels. I thought you guys were created equally, so how can there's a ranking here, and what yours? I said that as I was quite surprised by it. Not in terms of power. Each of the angels had a different power level, and thus that ranking was created. The one who made it was of course the goddess herself. About my ranking, I was in the last rankings among the other 15 angels. Anil explained that to me. Knowing that, I now know why Anil doesn't have any idea what's happening, because she's the last rank angel after all. I see, but what would you do now? Couldn't you return back to the heavenly realm? I asked that question as if she could. There's no reason for her to be here anymore. But of course I already knew her answer already. She can't do that because if she could, Anil would already return to the heavenly realm back in the temple. Though there's nothing wrong in asking, she could just forget about it. I have tried, but it seems like my power was lost somehow. She paused for a moment, her face still expressing fear. I don't know what is happening at all. I immediately held her hands. You wouldn't need to worry. I am here with you, and there's no way I am going to abandon you like that. We are in this situation together, and the both of us will figure it out on what's happening at this moment. I said that to reassure her that everything is going to be fine. I just hope that my power is still there, or we would be in trouble. But of course I can't say that now, as that would just make Anil even more scared of what would happen to us. It's weird for an angel to be expressing that feeling, as I thought that someone in the heavenly plane wouldn't be having that kind of fear, or at least any emotion like us. I guess I was wrong, as angels are pretty much similar to us human beings after all. A few minutes afterwards, after she had calmed down for a bit, I asked her what she wanted to do for now, as we couldn't stay here for that long. I also told her about my intention, and that was to go into the front lines, as this was kind of my second chance at redeeming myself on not being able to support Riku, and for sure she also had died after I got squashed by a demon before. I do not know whether I am powerful enough to stop those demons, but at least I could warn them about the incoming danger, so that Captain Kaze could order his soldiers to attack the demons at that time. But of course that would be a problem as well, because I realized that entering the Exiana army wouldn't be an easy task, as I do not have permission to enter unlike before. So meeting Captain Kaze would pose a problem for sure, and even if I could be granted an audience with the captain, the chances of him believing me would be really low, as I am nobody. Of course there's another problem as well. That was about the location of the Exiana army. It's quite far from here. If I was late to arrive at that place, for sure Riku would be killed, and the army encampment might already get destroyed by the demons. I only have a few days before that event happens, so I would need to find something that I could travel with, a carriage or a horse. Because if I just walk to that place, there's no way I could make it on time. But no matter what, I must prevent Riku from getting killed, or even be in that position like before. Not now that I have the chance to change the outcome. Chapter 26. Staying Out. Surprisingly, Anil decided to come with me and refused to leave my side, even if she was aware that I was going to war on the battlefield. I really thought that she would be staying here or wouldn't be close to the battlefield, but it seems like my guess was wrong. But I do understand why she wanted to do so. I am the only one that she knew in this world, and with me leaving her, Anil would be having a hard time trying to do anything, as she wouldn't know what to do. Though if I am going to be honest, if she rejected that to come with me, I will persuade her since I feel like we can't be apart for now. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, and for us to do that would not be a good move. As who knows, the demon might know who Anil was and target her. So if we are separated, there's no way I can protect her. Protecting someone. I can't even protect Riku, and here I am trying to do so yet again. This time I believe that I could somehow do that. I did receive a few additional power-ups, but the most important thing is that I have unlocked an advanced system. I do not know what it does yet, as I don't have that time to look at it thoroughly. Who knows that it might give me something that could make me even stronger, because there's a skill tab, talent tab, and of course status tab. Those are the main things that I would be exploring later on this day. For now, I should focus on finding a place where we could stay for the night, as that would pose a problem if we didn't find one when the nighttime came. With no money and our appearance like this, the chances of getting a roof under our head is hard. But no matter what, I still need to find one as who knows there might be a person that was kind enough to help us despite our appearance. An hour later, despite my positive thoughts on this matter, I still couldn't find anyone willing to help us. Every time I tried to approach someone in this village, they would all try to avoid me as they started to walk away from us very quickly. Though I do understand that they are afraid of us, as who wouldn't. Even me wouldn't be doing so, but at least talk to us first here. But seeing the situation now, I suppose that camping outside was the only choice we had. The sun is already gone, and the moon is already up there in the sky. Most of the village is probably at their house, so there's no way we could be asking people again, as there would be no people here at all. We could knock at the villager houses and ask for their help, but I decided not to do so. Because when I think about it, they probably would think us as a creep or someone who would do bad to them. Plus, it's not like they would let us in either way. Anil, are you okay with us camping outside of the village? As it kinda looks like that the situation wasn't in our favor at all here. I said that to Anil. What choice we had here, as long as you wouldn't leave me. Then I will be fine with that. Anil then let out a sigh as she said, I never thought that humans were like this. I always thought they were kind beings, but it seems like I was wrong. While there's a kind human out there that would help us no matter what, it's just that not that many humans are like that. Most of them do the act of kindness in order to gain something beneficial for themselves. I said that portraying the truth of the humanity sure is a greedy and selfish one. Anil then looked at me. Though you seem to be different, you are kind and considerate. Even back in the temple, you could probably do something, but you didn't resist that much and just let it be. Anil said that. Anil is right. I could do something more or even try to explain myself, but I did not. Though the reason for that was quite simple. I hate arguments and that kind of stuff, as I am a loner. I always walk away from that matter, as it doesn't matter what happens. It's not like people are going to remember me, or at least want to do something afterwards if I do that. So that habit always stuck to me despite being transmigrated here in this world. I would like to say that to Anil, but I am sure she wouldn't be able to understand that. Only a loner does know what it feels like. I simply hate arguments, and looking at that situation, it's not like they are going to listen to anything I say. So it's kind of pointless for me to say anything there. I simplified my reason so Anil wouldn't ask me again about that incident. But still, it's great that you get out of there, as it isn't like the temple is the right place to be. They do worship the wrong goddess after all. Who was that supposed to be? It doesn't even look like Goddess Enos at all. Anil said, about that, remember when I asked about the goddess before? I do ask whether it's a male or female because in this world, apparently the goddess Enos was depicted as a male and dash. When I was just about to say that stuff even further, an unknown voice suddenly reached out to me in the dark. Hey, both of you there. What are you doing here at night like this? That person said that towards the both of us here. Chapter 27, A Kind Man. The one that uttered those words was actually a guard of this village. Though I wouldn't say that it's a guard as from the look of it. This person might just be a volunteer in this village who's patrolling around the village when it's night. I guess I should just be honest with our situation right now. There's no point in lying at this moment. Because there's nothing for us to gain at all. Actually, we are homeless and don't have anywhere to stay for tonight. That's why we are standing here trying to figure out where we will be sleeping. I simply said that to the guy. Oh, so you were the people that I was hearing from the villager, the suspicious-looking one. The man said that. Well, I'm not going to deny that we are looking suspicious, but we mean no harm at all. It was just things that had been rough for the both of us. I said, I wouldn't pray to your business here, but the villager does complain about the both of you, so I must take care of it. Plus, I also wouldn't want you people to be prowling in the village at night. It just makes the villagers uneasy in their house, and if anything happens, you guys would surely get blamed. The man said that. I understand that, but there's nothing we can do right now. Going out of this village would be way dangerous for us. We might get eaten out alive by wolves. I said that. Our option was fairly limited, and the only way for us to survive the night was to stay inside of this village. Even if that would mean our sleep wouldn't get comfortable at all. At least we are able to stay alive that way. Well, if you want, you both could sleep at my house. It's not far from here, and it's not like I am going to be home tonight, since it's my turn to look around the village for the entire night. The man said that, offering his place for us to stay the night. Hearing the man say that was quite surprising, as I did not expect him to let us do that, as none of the villagers are willing to do that, as they are afraid of us, not even if the villagers own their homes. So for the man offering us to stay in his house, while he's out patrolling the village the entire night, doesn't he have a slight worry that something might happen if we are left alone in his house? People would at least be afraid of doing such stuff, especially to strangers. So somehow I do feel a bit weird about how this man could casually offer that kind of stuff to the people he just met. Are you sure about that? You don't know us at all? I am happy with it, but do you really want someone you didn't know and was looking like this to be at your house on watch? I said that to that man. The man then smiles at me and gives me the answer. Because I didn't think the both of you would be doing something bad. I guess that's my bad trait. I am the type that will easily pity someone and help them. That's part of the reason I am doing patrol all alone again. So he's saying that he is a nice guy. Seems like that was the case here. Well, I know that type of person exists, but somehow I do not trust people who are nice. Because they probably had their agenda and tried to cover it up by being nice. At least that's what my experience taught me back in my old world. Most of my classmates do that and act nice, but actually, they wanted something from me. But it's not like I am going to say that every reason for being nice is because of something evil. Because there are people out there that would be doing all of this out of kindness and don't expect anything in return. Though I just need to be a bit cautious since we are dealing with strangers here. Still, despite all of them, I am still going to just accept this help from this man. Because it's still better to have a roof under our heads. Plus, it's better as the both of us could sleep for this night before heading to our next destination. We still haven't figured out what we're going to do. Well, I know my main goal is heading to the battlefield where Riku is right now. But we still need to gain some proper equipment and a lot of other stuff as well. I suppose before the both of us sleep, the both of us should be discussing this matter. Because who knows that Anil has a good idea of what we should be doing in order to gain the item we need. So what's the answer then? I'm okay if you are not comfortable with that offer. The man said. I guess I took quite some time to think about the answer. Should be giving him my answer now. Oh, well, if that is the case, then I would be accepting that offer. I paused for a bit. Do you mind showing the way to your house? Sure, just follow me for a bit as I do need to finish my patrol first. The man said that. So with that, the both of us follow the man on his patrol around the village. The experience was all silent as none of us said a word. Well, it's not like we have any topic to talk about, so it's only natural that there's this weird atmosphere around us. I do want to ask something, but I guess I should just embrace the silence for now. It's better that way as I am not that sort of a person who likes to talk anyway. Chapter 28. Checking. It took a while for the man patrol to be done. Well, not done as he's just walked past his house. So with that, he dropped us off and told us where the spare bedrooms are, and explained the layout of the house if we ever needed anything. He also tells us to just take any food if we were hungry, as he doesn't mind at all. After telling us all that was necessary, he left the home to both of us as the man needed to resume his patrol. But I am feeling a bit weird as he's very lenient to us as he doesn't even care about us. Makes me think that there's really something behind this man's kindness. I just can't figure out what it was. I stopped thinking as there might not be any hidden intention here. Plus, it's just a waste of my time to do that, as there are more concerning matters that the both of us should be thinking about right now. That was gaining new equipment in our current state. Because without it, we can't do anything at all. Plus, we do need money as well. As how would the both of us be able to travel to the battlefield? As the both of us sat down, I began to ask Anil about this matter. So do you have any idea on how we will be able to gain some equipment or gold? I ask her that. She looks around for a moment before turning back to face me. Maybe, as if somehow requesting help from this man, we probably could get some money out of him as he seems kind enough. Anil explains her thoughts to me. Well, It's true, as I'm sure if we asked the kind man, he might give us the stuff we need. Though there's a chance that he wouldn't give us anything more since he had helped us enough. I nodded, agreeing with her, as that's our choice in this situation. Maybe I should try that after his patrol is over. It might work out and not, but there's nothing wrong in trying. Though I still don't like the idea that much since I know that there's something wrong with that man. But I will try to believe that the man is doing this out of his kindness. I guess that's all for that matter. We should at least sleep right now. Though I don't trust that man one bit. Anil doesn't seem to be that affected and seems to put his trust in that man. Anil said that she would be heading to sleep, hoping that tomorrow's better than today. The man has already explained to us where we are going to sleep, and we follow his instructions. So with that, the both of us went to bed that night. As usual, Anil fell asleep almost immediately, which I am not. I try my best so that I can stay awake long enough, just in case. Plus, it's a little hard for me to be sleeping when Anil is sleeping right next to me. Some part of it does bother me, but I don't mind it at all. It's just that I can't help but feel uneasy, like something bad is going to happen, and I don't know why. I sigh as I turn on my side, facing away from Anil as I try to clear this thought that was currently occupying my mind, because I do want to get some sleep as well. But before I was about to close my eyes, I then remembered something rather important. I almost forgot to check my newly acquired system. Opening it up is quite easy. It's just like all the anime that I had watched before. You will just need your conscience to do it for you, as it will open up on its own. It's a pretty basic system, if I could say so. I still remember that there was a companion tab before, but it now was missing. It happens when I open it as Anil comes out of it. There was a status tab. I do wonder what my status is. I opened it up and saw my own stats. Player, level, 6 HP, 2797 MP, 1057 strength, 131 intel, 169 agility, 103 phys res, 0% mag res, 0%. Seeing my own stats, it's quite surprising as my stats are quite powerful, because that's high for a level 6. I do not know whether it applied here, but the character creation stats was just in 1 digit. The 2-digit number is 10 or 11. So for it to be a 3-digit number, it's certainly impressive. But who knows that it might be normal here in this world for a level 6 to get that stats. Though this world doesn't seem to have a level, at least that is what I know, as none of the people here is talking about level. Despite all of that, it seems like I have 0 resistance to physical and magic attacks. Well, that's understandable as I might be overpowered like that. But how I wish I am, because that way I wouldn't need to worry about getting hurt, and for sure I could beat the demon army which kill Riku. But my HP and MP seem to be normal. The next one is the skill tab. I wonder how much skill I obtain, but I doubt that there's much on it. Probably there are around 4 of 5 skills. Mostly all of them I could figure out what it was already. As it's the priest skill set, the basic skill set that is plus the new white arts that I received from Anil. Feel like I shouldn't really check as I already knew the content of it. But who knows that I might be wrong, as there might be a ton of skills that I had already obtained. It's just that I was never aware of it. Chapter 29, Unsettling. Skill. White arts, skill set unlocked, priest arts, removed. I didn't know what to say upon seeing that, since it was not something I saw before. Plus I was shocked to know that it's in a different format. Also about the removed priest art. What was that? Could it be that all of the priest skills that I should have had have been removed? But how can it be? It doesn't make any sense for it to be gone, because it's the thing that should be permanent with me, as I transmigrated into this world as a priest. Unless something about me being reincarnated again in this world has done something with it. The possibility of that being the reason is quite high. But even so, I can't say that it's 100% the cause of it, as I feel like there's another reason than that. It's just I couldn't figure out what. Though there's no point in figuring out something that I had no clue about at all. It's just a waste of my time, because it's better for me to see what white art skill set is. I know some of them had already been explained to me by Anil before, but there's nothing wrong in checking it out myself. When I do that, there's a bunch of the white art skills that appear right in front of me. It's a lot more than I expected, as there are like 60 white art skills here. But I do notice something when I scroll the skill that was included in the white art skill set. That part was not unlocked yet, as most of the skills had a lock icon beside it. Though there are like 10 of them that don't have any of that icon. The other 5 skills are the ones that Anil mentioned before. The new 5 skills that I had unlocked are Holy Weapon, Holy Freeze, and Holy Protection. Those are the 3 skills that I could use, and the remaining 2 are passive skills. Physical training and weapon mastery, as I realized that it had a buff icon on their name. I wish I could test all of these skills out right now and see what it does, as I wouldn't want to imagine what it does by judging it by the skill's name. I suppose that I would find a day to test it out. For now, I think it should be better if I head to sleep. And so I tried to close my eyes, not knowing if I can keep them shut or not, as my mind keeps playing different scenarios, ones where I find myself being attacked by that man. Or worse yet, Anil getting stabbed by those knives. And so I try my best to sleep, even if it isn't really helping me to do so at all, because no matter what I do, my mind keeps thinking that something bad will happen eventually, making me unable to sleep. Suddenly there was a loud sound which made me jump. It seemed like someone knocked on my door, but then I looked down and noticed that no one was standing outside. It must be an accident. Even though it sounded really loud, it felt kind of weird to me. That means she won't have heard the knock on the door and wake up in a panic. So after taking a moment to calm down, I decided to check who was knocking, as it's better to check it out that way I might be able to sleep afterward, because for now, nothing I can do could get rid of this horrible thought that something is going to happen. I get up from bed and walk toward the door, trying hard not to make any noise so that no one will suspect that something is amiss. As who knows, that person or something that is making that noise is still lurking down the area. I cautiously walked outside in silence, hoping to see what was really going on outside the house, as this house isn't really close to any other residents in the village. It's quite far from others, and that's why I think there's something around. Of course, I didn't leave the house without any weapon in hand. I at least grab a knife from the kitchen so that if danger arises, I could at least protect myself with that, even though it's not the best weapon if I'm up against any monster. It looks very quiet. I guess part of it was just my imagination. I do admit that I might have been kind of paranoid about this stuff for a little bit, and maybe suddenly it felt like I was being watched, which made me grip the knife tightly and fall backward slowly. I didn't expect this, but then I turned around towards the direction where I sensed it coming from, to meet a pair of dark eyes staring back at me, and I recognized those eyes immediately, as it was him. That was the man who helped us. The man said as he stared at me, "I thought you would be sleeping. This would make my job of killing you even more difficult. However, I suppose I have been too optimistic. I'll have to start over." He smiled at me, and I felt myself shiver involuntarily. I point my knife to him, holding onto its handle for dear life. "Don't come any closer, or I swear I will kill you," I growled. I tried to sound threatening, although his words still rang true in my mind. He chuckled softly, moving slightly backwards, but not leaving the area where he stood a few feet away from me. I knew if I tried to attack, I probably wouldn't succeed in getting away. My hands were shaking, and I could feel sweat dripping down my face as I looked at him while he stared right back at me. I didn't know how long we stood there until he suddenly disappeared. Chapter 30, A Rather Dangerous Man, leaving only darkness surrounding me. And it was only then did I realize that he wasn't actually standing there. He simply faded in and out of view every few seconds. Was he really a ghost? A demon? A specter? What kind of supernatural being is he? His speed is too fast for my eyes to catch up, because there's no way a human would be able to move that fast. As I stood there feeling dumbfounded, wondering what to do next, he reappeared once again and took a step forward. I immediately held my knife firmly, as I took a defensive position while he moved around me. Then after what seemed like forever, he stopped, and I found myself staring at the back of his shoulder. After looking at each other, we both remained silent, waiting for one of us to make a move. Eventually, I broke the ice by asking, "So, why are they trying to kill us?" I asked bitterly, and then he answered with a creepy smile on his face. "It's simple, because it's been a long time since I ate human flesh." He laughed a bit. "Besides, no one would care if you both went missing or killed. The villagers simply wouldn't care, as both of you are nobody here." I flinched. He had just said such things like that. But thanks to that, I could finally figure out what exactly the man was. He's a freaking cannibal. Though not an ordinary cannibal, there was no way it could move that fast. There must be something more from this man that I didn't know about. Or rather, I was the only one who didn't know a thing about them in this world. Who knows that they have some sort of buff or special skill that makes them agile? Still, if I had known this earlier, I would never accept this man's help, and it's just better for us to actually be somewhere else. Because that might help avoiding this situation that I am in right now. One thing is for sure, even if he's just a cannibal, I do think he's more skilled than me in combat, as I am just a beginner despite having a skill set of a deity. That's the white arts. But of course, I know that I must fight regardless in order to survive. There's no freaking way I would want to die again. Plus, if I die, for sure it would be a painful one, unlike before where I just got squashed in just one swing. Thus, I hold my knife firmly, ready to strike when I get the opportunity. This guy probably isn't expecting me to try something so soon, but he laughed as he continued walking towards me, as he raised his hands in the air and began to walk in a circle around me. Then he started chuckling as he said, "You're delicious. I mean, look at that meat. It makes me drool, and I can't wait to kill you and eat it." I do think that our ragged clothes does make it worse, because if we somewhat wear proper clothing, it might help this man to sustain that cannibalism of his. Oh, who cares about that? I should be focusing on this. The man suddenly threw himself into my direction and attacked me from behind. With all my strength, I tried to fend him off. Even if he doesn't hurt me, there's still a chance he might injure me, and I need to find some way to prevent that. Then suddenly his hand came towards my head, grabbing my hair tightly, as if he wanted to pull my head off. My instinct took over, and I immediately swung my knife in front of him. I didn't expect that he would stop right before the blade touched his throat, making me slightly stumble backwards as he let go of my hair. As he chuckled and spoke again, I realized just how close together we are. We were almost chest to chest. My knife was just centimeters away from his neck. When I look closer, "You're quite cute, you know, and your little legs are shaking." His voice had an evil tone as he looked down at me with a grin on his face. "Don't worry, though. I'll make sure I get every part of you. I've been wanting to taste you ever since the beginning." I took a deep breath in order to keep calm. I need to maintain a strong facade in order to protect myself. But when I did so, he then began to use his speed to gain an advantage over me. He grabbed my wrists and brought them close to his mouth. Then his teeth snapped in place, and he bit down hard. It felt weird, as if he'd just bitten through plastic instead of bone. His grip tightened on my wrists, which made it harder for me to get my arms free. "H!" I shouted out loudly, hoping someone would hear me. Unfortunately for me, the night sky above us seemed to have already gone completely dark due to the lack of light. Plus, his place has a great distance with the other villager, making it harder for anyone to see it or hear my scream. Then, as I thought of my screams, another voice sounded in my mind. This is bad. I could feel panic rising inside me as I desperately clawed at the man. But it was useless. My movements weren't going anywhere. In fact, he was using his strength and his teeth to keep my hands down as they were locked against my will, and I was struggling desperately. My struggles only added fuel to his laughter as my efforts became more futile as well, as my limbs kept getting weaker. The pain was excruciating. It felt like I was about to lose consciousness as my brain couldn't keep up with my body anymore. When I thought that all was over, suddenly a bright light illuminated the surroundings and blinded me momentarily, which means it blinded the man as well. When I regained my vision, the man's grip loosened and he fell onto his ass. I quickly freed my hands and backed away slowly as I looked around. The first thing I saw was a silhouette of a man in front of me.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.